Chapter 387. Why? Why me? Yang Dingtian looked at Nihility Piao Ling and said loudly, "You can't give up on Bing Ling. She's your disciple. She's the new leader of the Yin sect. You should save her." Nihility Piao Ling looked at Dongfang Bingling and said, "She brought you here. That's already her greatest contribution to this world. Because you're the only hope. You're the only hope in this world." "No." Yang Dingtian said firmly, "I can't bear this hope. I don't need to bear this hope. Because there's still you. You're 1,000 times stronger than me. You're the strongest person in this world. 200 years ago, you could save this world. You can still do it now. You're the leader of the Yin sect. You're the savior." Hearing Yang Dingtian's emotional words, Nihility Piao Ling smiled gently. "Nihility sect leader, you're the strongest person in this world. I don't believe that you can't save Bing Ling. You can't give up on her. I beg you to save her, no matter the price." Yang Dingtian knelt down and put his forehead on the water surface. At this moment, the water surface started to tremble. The surrounding air started to turn cold. The two suns in the sky started to dim. Nihility Piao Ling gently touched Yang Dingtian's cheek. She reached out and held Yang Dingtian's chin. She raised his head and said gently, "Silly child, I can't even save myself. How can I save Bing Ling?" Immediately, Yang Dingtian's body shuddered as he revealed a look of disbelief. What do you mean by this?" "Child, I've told you before. You're the only hope in this world. From today onwards, you're the leader of the Yin sect. You're the Yin sect. You're the only one left in the Yin sect," Nihility Piao Ling said gently. Suddenly, the entire world became colder. The water in the yin-yang mirror started to tremble even more. "What? What do you mean?" Yang Dingtian's voice began to tremble, and his body began to tremble. "Look at my eyes," Nihility Piao Ling said softly, putting her breathtakingly beautiful face in front of Yang Dingtian. Her beautiful eyes were right in front of him. These were the most beautiful eyes in the world, like the stars, like the sea, like the beautiful and clean sky. However, in the depths of his eyes, the purple icy shadow began to spread and expand rapidly. The devil's energy and the evil spirit's energy began to spread throughout Piao Ling's body and began to devour him. At the same time, Nihility Piao Ling's snow-white skin was gradually covered with a layer of ice. Instantly, Yang Dingtian's entire body turned cold. His entire head was frozen in an instant. Even Dongfang Bingling's demonization didn't bring as much shock as this. Nihility Piao Ling was also demonized. "That's right, child. I was also affected by the evil spirit's energy. The demon king Wan Wentian personally planted it for me 200 years ago. However, he didn't want me to become a demon, so he left behind a tear crystal. It didn't matter if we were 10,000 miles apart or 100,000 miles apart. As long as I have his tear crystal, the evil spirit in my body will always be sealed. However, 10 days ago, the evil spirit in my body suddenly awakened and began to spread throughout my body and soul. I used all my strength to suppress it, just to wait for you and say a few words to you." Yang Dingtian's eyes completely turned into wood. He lost all reaction to Nihility Piao Ling's words. "Child, I hand over the hidden sect to you. From today onwards, you are the master of the hidden sect. From today onwards, you are the hidden sect itself. From today onwards, you are this world's only hope. Logically speaking, you are my disciple, but I can't give you anything. Although this crystal sword is nothing, it is the only thing I can give you. The key to saving this world is the 5th scroll of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. However, I don't know where it is. I left some things for you, including the hidden sect's keepsake. With it, you can command the world. There are also some scrolls and other things. I can't tell you where it is, because I have no secrets from the evil ways now. When you learn the 4th level of the pig-slaying swordsmanship, you will know where it is. When you break through to the Grandmaster level, you can go and take these things. As Nihility Piao Ling spoke, the purple-red ice in the depths of her eyes spread rapidly, quickly occupying the world in her eyes. Her jade-like skin was quickly covered in ice. The frozen water in the yin-yang mirror began to freeze. The surrounding air dropped rapidly. The twin suns in the sky began to be covered by darkness. The heaven and earth began to roar. Faint blue snowflakes began to fall from the dark sky. Child, not only do I need you to save me, I also need you to save me. In fact, the last few words I said to you have already exhausted all my willpower. Child, we are waiting for you. Waiting for you to save us from the devil prison. Swish. Nihility Piao Ling finished speaking, and in an instant, her eyes were completely occupied by the purple-red ice shadow. Her entire body was instantly enveloped by the faint blue ice. Her entire body was instantly sealed in ice. The yin-yang mirror of tens of thousands of miles was completely frozen. The yin-yang mirror of tens of thousands of miles changed from warm as spring to terrifyingly cold, more than 10,000 miles of glaciers. The twin suns in the sky were completely swallowed by darkness. The earth roared and roared. The sky completely turned dark and blood-red. The scene of doomsday opened in the yin-yang mirror. Gotcha. Suddenly, the ice on Nihility Piao Ling's body shattered violently. She slowly opened her eyes. Her incomparably terrifying and cold eyes suddenly shot out a cold purple light of death. Her eyes could no longer be seen. The purple cold light that shot out was like a burning ice fire, replacing her beautiful eyes. She glanced at Yang Dingtian indifferently and glanced at Yan Pianxian. Whoosh, an incomparably huge purple light wing suddenly opened from her back. The wings of more than 100 feet almost covered the sky and the sun. The demonized Nihility Piao Ling suddenly flew into the air. She hovered in the air like the female demon king who ruled the world. Hiss, sharp purple nails suddenly grew from her 10 fingers. Purple hair suddenly grew and fluttered fiercely. She grabbed the tens of thousands of miles of frozen yin-yang mirror with both hands and tore it violently. Rumble, in an instant, the sky shook and the earth changed color. The tens of thousands of miles of frozen yin-yang mirror was instantly torn apart from the middle. A bottomless crack stretched for tens of thousands of miles. Boom! The purple-red dark light turned into terrifying magma and ice fire, rushing out of the crack. Boom 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 boom, the tens of thousands of miles of yin-yang mirror completely collapsed and was completely torn apart. The fairy-like yin-yang mirror was completely destroyed, completely torn apart and completely collapsed. Then, the Nihility Piao Ling opened her mouth, and suddenly released a terrifying purple light from her mouth. Then, from her mouth, she released an incomparably charming voice that seemed to come from the depths of hell. From today onwards, there is no more Nihility Piao Ling of the hidden sect, only the Queen Devil Queen. With the words of the Devil Queen, the sky was suddenly torn apart and lightning burst out for tens of thousands of miles. The terrifying words of the Devil Queen resounded for thousands of miles. The young master of the Temple of Annihilation, Yan Pianxian, trembled and knelt down, kowtowing and saying, "Evil demon crown prince Yan Pianxian kowtows to the Devil Queen." The succubus Bing Ling also knelt on the ground and said respectfully, "Disciple Mu Dan pays respect to the Devil Queen." The Queen Devil Queen's purple light shot towards the succubus Bing Ling. She slightly raised her hand and said, "Mu Dan, I bestow upon you the name of the evil demon princess Mu Dan, and treat you as the daughter of the demon king Wentian and I." As soon as the Queen Devil Queen's voice fell, a pair of dark blue wings suddenly grew from the succubus Bing Ling's back. At the same time, the succubus Bing Ling's eyes also slowly shot out a dark blue light. In an instant, the succubus Bing Ling's cultivation skyrocketed again. Whoosh! The succubus Bing Ling flapped her wings and flew into the sky. Yan Pianxian looked at the succubus Bing Ling in the sky, and her body trembled slightly, and her eyes revealed pain. Yan Pianxian. The Queen Devil Queen slowly called out. "Yes, disciple is here." Yan Pianxian said. "The apocalypse has officially begun." Use all power to revive the demon king Wentian. The devil queen said. Disciple obeys the decree. Yen Pianxian kowtowed and said. Mu Dan, my son, let's go and let the whole world feel the power of our destruction. The devil queen said sternly. Yes. The succubus Bing Ling said cruelly and excitedly. Then, she flapped her wings and was about to fly away with the devil queen. You still have things to deal with. The devil queen said lightly. Yes. The succubus Bing Ling said. Then, she flapped her huge blue wings and circled around Yang Dingtian and Ling Qingchen in the air. This world will be the world of evil spirits, the world of evil spirits. Those who obey me will prosper, those who oppose me will die. And Yang Dingtian, 3 years later, I will wait for you at the Yinyang school. I will kill you at the Yinyang school. Hiss. The succubus Bing Ling suddenly stabbed her sword into Ling Qingchen's head. Ling Qingchen. In this world, the elder who loved her the most. When Bing Ling was ridiculed by the whole world, when Bing Ling was abandoned by the whole world, when Bing Ling needed her father the most. The one who protected her by her side was not her father, Dongfang Minmi, but her martial uncle, Ling Qingchen. For more than 10 years, her martial uncle, Ling Qingchen, had been playing the role of a father. The succubus Bing Ling circled in the air and roared. Then, she suddenly pierced Ling Qingchen's head with her sword, piercing the head of the person she regarded as her father. Those who obey me will prosper, those who oppose me will die. The evil spirit fire will completely burn the whole world. Yang Dingtian, 3 years later, I will wait for you at the hidden sect to kill you. Boom, endless evil spirit fire, endless dark fire, suddenly burned from the 1,000 miles yin-yang mirror. The succubus Bing Ling flapped her huge wings and followed the devil queen into the distance. She disappeared into the dark sky, disappeared into the blood-red sky, disappeared into the doomsday sky. Yang Dingtian looked at the sky blankly. Looking at the destroyed yin-yang mirror, looking at the raging flames of doomsday everywhere. Looking at the sky full of death and evil. Looking at the 2 suns that were completely devoured. Looking at Ling Qingchen's head that had been pierced. Her entire heart. Gradually dying silent. Her entire eyes gradually dispersed. Suddenly, Yang Dingtian's forehead heated up. A drop of blood tears dripped onto Yang Dingtian's face. This was Bing Ling's blood tears. Icicles, tears and blood had always been cold. Only this drop was scalding hot. Yang Dingtian gently wiped it, and the blood tears gradually solidified in his palm, turning into a beautiful blood tears jade bead. Senior brother, save me. Bing Ling's affectionate cry seemed to ring in his ears and in his heart. A snow-white mist condensed into the figure of Piao Ling, bright and holy. Child, I'll leave the hidden sect to you, this world to you.
Child, Bing Ling is waiting for you to save me, I'm waiting for you to save me. As if it was an illusion, Ong Dingtian shook his head slightly, and the white mist condensed into void Piao Ling gradually faded away. A moment later, a figure appeared in front of Yang Dingtian. He opened his eyes forcefully and saw that it was Yen Pianxian from the Temple of Annihilation. Thank you, Yang Dingtian. If you didn't use the tear of the evil king, Void Piao Ling wouldn't have become my most beloved devil queen. I was the one who came up with the plan to revive the devil queen. Yen Pianxian said, even though I felt that you were very naive to use this priceless tear of the evil king to revive a woman. But when it really happened, I still felt that it was inconceivable. Do you know that the tear of the evil king is the highest token of the evil ways? Whoever has it can control the entire evil ways. I was just trying to make Dugu Fengwu and Her Highness the Princess fall under the evil spirit. I didn't think that you would use the tear crystal, but I didn't think that you would really use it. Here, I have to say, thank you. Once you used it, you really changed the world. You directly revived the strongest power of the evil ways and destroyed the entire primal chaos world. Yen Pianxian smiled and said, you might not know, but as long as the Devil Queen descends, the revival of the Demon King won't be far away. What is the only obstacle for the evil ways to destroy the world? It is the hidden sect, the master of the hidden sect, Void Piao Ling. It is you who turned the only savior of the primal chaos world, Void Piao Ling, into our supreme queen Devil Queen. It is also equivalent to you indirectly reviving our the Demon King Wentian. Now, let me ask you. How long until the destruction of this world? Who else can save this world? Relying on you? The three sects of the world, the hidden sect is already gone. Black Sky Sect's Zhu Qingzhu has long been a member of the evil ways. Enyang School, I don't need to say this, it will soon fall into the hands of the princess. The three strongest and most supreme sects of the Tiando League have all fallen into the hands of the evil ways. Who else can stop the destruction of the world? Among the 9 sects of the world, the strongest is the northwest Qin city. Qin Wanchou has been wavering. Why did he put Qin Chichi in an important position? It is because the balance is gradually tilting towards the evil ways. How many Grandmaster-level powerhouses of the Tiando League are left? 4. 5. World Association Master. Cloud Sky Pavilion Master. Earth-Splitting City Master. Their fall is not far away. Even the Netherworld Sea and Sect Master Wu Yu have been wavering. The Devil Queen's descent will completely destroy all their defenses. All the powerhouses in the universe will kneel at the feet of the evil ways. Who else can the Tiando League rely on? Who else can it rely on?
A fake like you. Wow, Yang Dingtian, you really have a lot of titles. The successor of the Enyang School, the Cloud Sky City Master, the Hidden Sect Master. Unfortunately, you are still a fake. 3 months later, Qin Chichi's 100,000 troops will attack your Cloud Sky City. Your Cloud Sky City's destruction is already a foregone conclusion. Your title as the strongest in the world can't even protect Cloud Sky City. How can you protect the Tiando League? How can you protect the world? It is a pity that I can't kill you. Because you will be left for my beloved Mudan to kill. I can't kill you, but I can trample on you. I can destroy your loved ones, your family, your Cloud Sky City, your power, one by one. I don't even need to do it myself. I can mobilize hundreds of thousands of troops with just a finger. I can mobilize a large group of master-level powerhouses to annihilate your Cloud Sky City and tear your family into pieces. I love Bing Ling. I love Mudan. She will always be the high and mighty princess. On the righteous path, she is the fairy from the 9 heavens. On the demonic path, she is the witch from the 9 heavens. I love her. I admire her. On the day she kills you, I will destroy all the resistance forces of the Tiando League. I will use the entire world, the entire Tiando League, as a betrothal gift. I will kneel in front of her and propose. I will give this world as a gift to the Demon King and the Demon Queen. I will beg them to marry the Demon Princess Mudan to me. When the time comes, I will step on your head and marry Bing Ling. I will use your skull as a wine cup for our wedding night, and we will drink the wine of the nuptial cup. I will use your skeleton to cast into the throne. I will step on your corpse and rule the world. Then, I will take my leave. 3 months later, I will send you the 30,000 corpses of Cloud Sky City, including your wife. Finally, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Then, huge black wings suddenly appeared on Yen Pianxian's back. All of his lame legs, all of his wretched appearance, instantly disappeared without a trace. Endless cold, endless darkness, and endless energy suddenly burst out of his body. His eyes that were looking at Yang Dingtian gradually disappeared and turned into a ball of black light. A black fog of light came out from his eye sockets. His bruised and swollen face instantly changed. It was as if he was carved from jade. He was handsome and cold. This was the true face of the young master of the Temple of Annihilation, the crown prince of evil ways, Yen Pianxian. The boundless dark energy was incomparably powerful. He was like the king of darkness, ruling the world. Finally, I will tell you. My real name is the demon Prince Li Ming. As for my original identity, you can guess. Ha 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 ha. After saying that, the demon Prince Li Ming laughed wildly. Waves of heaven and earth shook, lightning flashed, and thunder rumbled. The demon prince flapped his wings and escaped into the darkness. The demon prince had left for a long time. The entire yin-yang mirror, no, it had become the demon realm. There was blood like demon water everywhere, and there was terrifying evil spirit fire everywhere. The sky was blood red and dark, and there were strange bolts of lightning. The two suns in the sky had been completely devoured. The yin-yang mirror was torn and blood like demon water everywhere. The beautiful and magnificent immortal realm was completely destroyed. The demon realm was boundless. In the entire demon realm, there was only Yang Dingtian and Ling Qingshan's corpse kneeling on the ground. Child. Suddenly, Yang Dingtian heard Ling Qingshan's voice from afar. Yang Dingtian trembled slightly. He used all his strength to get up from the ground. Ling Qingshan was still kneeling on the ground. His entire head was completely pierced, and the blood that flowed out had turned blue and solidified on his face. His eyes had been completely sealed by ice. His mouth didn't move at all. Child, this was indeed Ling Qingshan's voice. Child, I'm using my weak soul to talk to you. Therefore, my voice resounded in your heart. Yang Dingtian trembled violently. Then, he began to search for the holy water pill in his spatial ring to save Ling Qingshan's life. No, the holy water can't really bring the dead back to life. Of course, it can't save my life. Yang Dingtian stopped moving. Child, do you want to admit defeat? Let's not talk about something as distant as saving the world. Are you not going to save your child and your lover? That's right, they're extremely powerful. They already have the Devil Queen who stepped into the holy world, and the Demon King Wentian who is about to be revived. There's also the demon dog Zhu Qingzhu and Qin Wanshou. They also have the demon army transformed from 80 million Maori barbarians. There's also the demon army transformed from tens of millions of demi-humans. But we still have you. Remember, you're the Lord of Cloud Heaven City, the head of Yin-Yang School, the head of the Hidden Sect. You're the leader of the Tiando League, the leader of humanity. If even you give up, then this world will be completely destroyed. As long as you don't give up, there's still hope. As long as you give up, this world will be destroyed again. The evil spirits will inform all life that the primal chaos continent will be destroyed again. Yang Dingtian's state of mind gradually recovered. That's right, I'm the Lord of Cloud Heaven City, I'm the head of Yin-Yang School, I'm the head of the Hidden Sect. If I give up, what will happen to my lover, my child, and my family? I still have Yao Rao from the Black Fox clan, I still have Dugu Aoshuang from the Naga bloodline, and I still have a son from the demigod clan who is about to be born. I shouldn't give up. That's right. Evil ways are so powerful. They're so powerful that they make people suffocate and despair. However, the Demon King Wentian hasn't been revived yet. The Queen Devil Queen can also become the Void Piao Ling. The evil demon Princess Mu Dan can also become the Dongfang Bingling. Even Dugu Shao from the Temple of 10,000 Blood has good intentions. As long as I don't give up, these people can become my comrades in the future. Child, what you need to do now is to become stronger, stronger, stronger. The closest threat you have right now is Qin Shichi's army of 100,000 and the invasion of many grandmasters 3 months later. What you need to do now is to destroy Qin Shichi's army. As long as you can destroy Qin Shichi's attack, not only can you save Cloud Heaven City, you can also make Qin Wanshou change his mind and stand by your side. Yang Dingtian took a deep breath and said, Martial Ant, I can't do it. I can't destroy her army of 100,000 and I can't defeat the many grandmasters under her. You can do it, Ling Qingshan said indifferently. How? Yang Dingtian asked. For the sake of becoming stronger, you can do anything. As long as your heart is bright, even if your body is completely immersed in hell. Even if you are in the darkness of the devil, you can still look up to the light. Ling Qingchen said, the reason why your master died was because he was too righteous and too childish. You can't learn from him. Yang Dingtian took a deep breath and his eyes suddenly shrank. Now, you have to take the first step to becoming stronger by any means. Use your evil soul art to devour my last soul and refine me into a puppet battle soul. I have seen Dugu Shao before and I know that you know the evil soul art. Then, you need to refine my body into an incomparably powerful battle demon puppet. Let me become a walking corpse that only knows how to kill. Of course, what you need to do is far more than that. An hour later, Yang Dingtian took out the soul ring. Looking at Ling Qingchen's head. Suddenly, his eyes suddenly turned dark and his hands grabbed Ling Qingchen's head in the air. From his mouth, he chanted a devilish spell. Suddenly, it was as if countless ghosts were crying. Whoosh, a snow-white soul was suddenly pulled out. It cried and howled. Yang Dingtian's body was completely enveloped by the dark light. Chapter 388. Bao Bao, Bao Bao, be good. Come to Empress, come to Mother. In the valley, Ningning's little house had been completely remodeled. Here, there were furry toys everywhere. Little tigers, little rabbits, and small knives and swords made of wood. In the entire house, all the chairs and the corners of the tables were covered with soft cloth to prevent Bao Bao from accidentally bumping into them. All kinds of toys were piled up everywhere in the house. These were all personally made by the women of Cloud Sky City these past few days, and the number of toys was still increasing. Not only Yan Yan, Madame Shimin, and even Qin Jiao had made many toys. On Bao Bao's first day in Cloud Sky City, he became everyone's darling. If it wasn't for Madame Shimin stopping her, Yan Yan almost carried Bao Bao out in front of everyone in Cloud Sky City and announced that he was the future young lord of Cloud Sky City. Of course, Madame Shimin didn't stop her for any other reason, but because she felt that one day, Dugu Fengwu would come back to take her child back. When Bao Bao first arrived, Yan Yan generously said that if Dugu Fengwu came back, she would return Bao Bao to her. Now, she had thrown this thought aside. This Bao Bao was hers, and no one could take him away. Unless Dugu Fengwu also stayed. Then, Yan Yan wouldn't be stingy and share Bao Bao with Dugu Fengwu. At this moment, Yan Yan, Dugu Aoshuang, Qin Jiao, Qin Susu, and Mu Lianyi were all squatting on the ground, teaching Bao Bao how to walk. Bao Bao, who had just started learning how to walk, was completely enjoying it. He grinned and stretched out his little hands, stumbling like a duckling as he learned how to walk. Good, good Bao Bao, come to Empress. Yan Yan laid on the ground, shaking Bao Bao's favorite little tiger in her hand, and said in a tender voice. Qin Jiao was in the opposite direction, shaking the treasure sword in her hand, and said to Bao Bao, don't go over there, come to Auntie. Even at this moment, Qin Jiao still used a commanding tone. But her eyes were fixed on Bao Bao, completely doting on him. Bao Bao looked at the little tiger, then at the small sword, not knowing what to do. After all, he was a boy, so he was more fond of the little sword. However, he preferred Her Highness Yan Yan more, so he didn't know what choice to make. When Yan Yan saw that she couldn't win against Qin Jiao, she panicked. She lowered her delicate body slightly and pulled down the front of her clothes. She said dotingly, baby, do you want to eat? Quack, quack. Sure enough, the baby couldn't resist the attraction. He immediately opened his arms and stumbled toward Yan Yan. Qin Jiao was instantly flustered and exasperated. Great-grandmother Shimin, you're shameless. You're cheating. Not only are you using them to seduce men, but you're also using them to trick babies. Yan Yan hugged Bao Bao as she coaxed Bao Bao. Bao Bao is so obedient. Pout your little mouth and let Nyang Nyang kiss you. At this time, a maid secretly ran over and whispered something in Yan Yan's ear. Yan Yan's beautiful eyes lit up. She then handed Bao Bao to Dugu Aoshuang and said tenderly, baby, play with Auntie for a while. Mommy will be back soon. Then, Yan Yan walked out of the house. Yang Dingtian landed at the gate of Cloud Heaven City, carrying a big box on his back. Inside was Ling Qingshan's corpse. "Greetings, City Lord." The warriors at the city gate knelt down neatly. Yang Dingtian nodded and stepped into Cloud Heaven City. "Husband, you're back. Bao Bao can walk now." Yan Yan rushed towards Yang Dingtian. But halfway through, she stopped. This was because she had never seen Yang Dingtian like this. His face was filled with endless exhaustion, but his eyes were like burning flames. But this kind of flame was like a lonely candle flame in the darkness. His entire face seemed to have aged 10 years. "Husband, what happened to her?" Yan Yan asked timidly. Yang Dingtian shook his head. Immediately, tears fell from Yan Yan's eyes. Then, she stepped forward and gently held Yang Dingtian's arm. Yang Dingtian opened the door of the frozen room and walked in with Ling Qingshan's corpse on his back. When he passed by Shimin Wuya's corpse, Yang Dingtian stopped in his tracks. At this moment, Shimin Wuya was completely frozen inside. His face was still lifelike, domineering and elegant, majestic without being angry. After pausing for a few seconds, Yang Dingtian came to an ice cellar and opened the ice door. He placed Ling Qingshan's corpse inside and closed the door. Immediately, clear water covered the corpse. Then, it froze into ice at a speed visible to the naked eye. Ling Qingshan's corpse was completely frozen. Yang Dingtian stroked Ling Qingshan's face through the ice and said, "Uncle Master, it won't be long before I let you be reborn in another way." Then, he walked in front of Yan Yan again. Yang Dingtian muttered to himself, "Father-in-law, I will definitely protect mother-in-law and Yan Yan, no matter the price." Inside the room, Qin Wuliang, who once pretended to be a member of the Qin clan and had his legs broken, knelt in front of Yang Dingtian. "How are your legs?" Yang Dingtian asked. "They're already healed, City Lord," Qin Wuliang said respectfully. "How's your cultivation now?" "I just broke through to martial profound," Qin Wuliang said. "I heard that you practice martial arts very hard. This servant has received Master's grace of being reborn. However, my talent is mediocre, so I can only practice martial arts with all my might to repay Master." Qin Wuliang looked at Yang Dingtian with burning eyes. "Yes, your talent is not low. Our Cloud Sky City will soon have a profound qi condensation formation. Your cultivation will advance by leaps and bounds." Yang Dingtian said, "As long as you are willing to work hard, any position in Cloud Sky City will be possible for you." "Yes." Qin Wuliang kowtowed. "There's something I want you to do," Yang Dingtian said. "Later, you will take a flying mount and go to the northwest Qin city. When you pass by the Abyss Castle, pass on my order to have Shimin Ju come to Cloud Sky City alone to see me. Then, after you pass the Abyss Castle and enter Qin City's territory, you will immediately bring my letter to Qin Jingtang and have him send you to Qin City with the fastest flying mount. After you reach Qin City, have Qin Huayu drop everything and come to Cloud Sky City." "Yes." Qin Wuliang said, "Master, do you have any other orders?" "No," Yang Dingtian said, "you can go now." "Yes." Qin Wuliang kowtowed again and left. After Qin Wuliang left, Zhao Liao came in. "Greetings, City Lord," Zhao Liao knelt and saluted. "Madam, please rise," Yang Dingtian and his wife Zhao Liao said. "This time, I want to invite you to the southwest continent." "Yes." Zhao Liao said. "Go to the Sky Phoenix Pavilion with the fastest speed and find Pavilion Master Duan Rian. Ask her to help with 3 things," Yang Dingtian said. "First, ask the fake Pavilion Master if Ling Yanmei is dead. If she's not, seal her in ice and give her to me. If she's dead, seal her body in ice and give it to me." "Yes." Zhao Liao was very curious as to why Yang Dingtian wanted Ling Yanmei's body, but she didn't ask. "Second, I'll give this bottle of poison to Pavilion Master Duan. Let her think of a way to put it into Qin Chichi's army," Yang Dingtian said. "Yes." Zhao Liao hesitated and said, "City Lord, I'm proficient in poisons. Do you want me to help you modify it? This is a combination of a small amount of Naga deep sea Xian poison, dark evil spirit fire, a little bit of dark crystal, and corpse plague poison, Yang Dingtian said. There shouldn't be any room for modification. Jiao Liao trembled when she heard about the poison. Her beautiful eyes looked at the bottle of poison in her hand. Her beautiful eyes emitted a terrifying and bright light. City Lord, this poison could kill a lot of people, maybe tens of thousands. Jiao Liao said with a trembling voice. The more the better. It's best if you can kill all of Qin Chichi's 100,000 soldiers. Yang Dingtian said, the third thing. Yang Dingtian hesitated for a moment when he mentioned the third thing, then said, forget it, there's no third thing. Just these two things. Leave immediately. Yes. Jiao Liao bowed and said. When she left, Jiao Liao said, City Lord, I feel that your spirit is very depressed. Do you need my help? Help? How can you help? Yang Dingtian said. Venting is the best way to relieve pressure. If Yan Yan and Jiao Liao are not suitable, I can help. Jiao Liao said seriously. No need, Yang Dingtian said that I in the next 2 days. Yang Dingtian was forging in a cave. After 999 pieces of 10,000 years old bloody black gold were used to forge his near emperor grade soul swords, there was only a little more than 500 kilograms of ashes left. Although these were the leftovers from forging the soul swords, the quality of these ashes still surpassed most of the bloody black gold. If used to forge treasured swords, it was guaranteed that each of them would be a peerless sword. Yang Dingtian had to make use of these 2 days to forge all of these treasured swords. After that, Yang Dingtian didn't have a single day of free time. Madame Shimin was worried and also helped Yang Dingtian forge in the cave. Mother-in-law, when I burn the mystic flame later, sprinkle the bloody black gold ashes. Yang Dingtian said. Okay. Huff. Yang Dingtian summoned the million-spirit demonic flame. The red demonic flame burned quietly. Yang Dingtian kept injecting his mystic qi. Suddenly, the mystic flame became more condensed and smaller. Its color became redder and redder until it was as red as blood. Rise! Yang Dingtian's mystic qi gushed out crazily. Suddenly, the mystic flame exploded and turned into a colorless flame that was the size of a door. Sprinkle. Yang Dingtian said. Madame Shimin flung her sleeves. Instantly, the fiery red bloody black gold ashes flew over and drilled into the mystic fire wall. The pieces of 10,000 years old bloody black gold ashes melted and turned into countless red dots. Madame Shimin kept sprinkling the bloody black gold ashes. Suddenly, the entire stone room was filled with red bloody black gold ashes. Condense, Yang Dingtian controlled the million-spirit demonic flame resentful spirits and condensed them. Suddenly, the bloody black gold ashes condensed and turned into the shape of a sword. However, this sword was half a finger thick. Mother-in-law, use all your mystic qi to attack this sword. We will attack together, Yang Dingtian said. Okay. Madame Shimin said. Attack. Yang Dingtian ordered and the two of them released their mystic qi. Suddenly, tens of thousands of kilograms of force hit the bloody black gold sword in the middle. Attack, 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 after countless attacks. The sword turned from half a finger thick to the size of a piece of paper. Yang Dingtian took out his soul sword that was close to the emperor grade. He aimed at the red sword and slashed at it. After more than 10,000 slashes, the sword was completely formed. It was exquisite and sharp. It floated in the air like a burning flame. Madame Shimin looked at the sword and her beautiful eyes shone brightly. Finally, Yang Dingtian condensed the mystic fire to the extreme and carved 3 words on the sword blade. Yang Pei Pei. When the 3 words were completely formed, a trace of mystic ice-cold jade melted and was embedded on the 3 words. Finally, he sprinkled unfreezing water on the sword. Hiss! Suddenly, the sword froze. Yang Dingtian held the sword. What a beautiful sword! The blade was as thin as a piece of paper and was completely transparent. The sword was red like fire and had a faint golden color. It looked noble and beautiful. Especially the 3 words Yang Pei on the sword blade. They were written with blue mystic ice-cold jade. They were extremely beautiful. Mother-in-law, this is your sword. Yang Dingtian handed it over with both hands. After Madame Shimin received the sword, she couldn't help but tremble slightly. She had never seen such a beautiful sword. It couldn't even be called a sword. It was completely a work of art. She unsheathed her treasured sword. This treasured sword was forged from bloody black gold and had a 25% increase in Xian Qi. It was a famous sword in the world and was priceless. Madame Shimin used the sword that Yang Dingtian had made and gently slashed her original bloody black gold sword to test if it was sharp. But something happened that shocked her. A layer of her original bloody black gold sword had been directly shaved off. This was too unbelievable. This was an extremely sturdy bloody black gold sword, but a layer had been directly shaved off. The sword that Yang Dingtian had made for her was shockingly sharp. It could be said that there was nothing it couldn't break. Immediately after, Madame Shimin injected her mystic qi and her beautiful face was completely shocked. Oh my god! 59% increase in profound energy, little Tian, what exactly did you use? I have never seen or heard of this before. This sword might be able to exchange for 50 miles of land. Then, Madame Shimin used the new sword to slash at the old bloody black gold sword. The old bloody black gold sword was silently cut in half. And the next 2 days, Yang Dingtian had forged a total of 10 swords. When he finished forging, Qin Huayu had already arrived at Cloud Heaven City. However, Shimin Ju didn't come. Brother, I thought you didn't want to see me anymore. Qin Huayu smiled. Yang Dingtian handed over a sword. This was one of the 10 swords that he had just forged. This sword is worth at least 3 cities. Your Northwest Qin city is the richest in the world, but you might not even be able to find such a sword. Yang Dingtian said. What do you mean? You actually gave me such a precious gift. Qin Huayu said. It's not for you. Yang Dingtian said, it's for you to give it to world society as a betrothal gift. Qin Huayu was shocked. World society's fierce and strange princess is in Sky Demon City. You have to capture her and marry her to world society. Yang Dingtian said, after this matter is settled, we will discuss the mystic flame and the matter of killing Qin Chichi. Qin Huayu was shocked. Chapter 389. Princess Song Chunhua of the World Society. Of course, the title of the princess was extremely ironic. No one thought that Song Chunhua was a princess, and no one even thought that she was a woman. Why? First of all, she was very tall. Converted to Earth's measurements, she was a full 185 centimeters, a few centimeters taller than Yang Dingtian. Secondly, she had never worn a girl's clothes since she was 3 years old. The clothes she wore were even more manly than men. She didn't even wear a long robe. Instead, she wore a fierce armor. And when she walked, she had always been walking with a majestic gait. The most terrible thing was that she had cut off her hair, leaving only 3 to 4 inches. In the chaos world, all women had long hair. Even all the women had long hair. Only slaves who worked as coolies and wandering warriors would have short hair. And Song Chunhua had short hair. And her cultivation was very strong. She was 30 years old this year, and was already an 8-star revered martial artist. Other than Dongfang Bingling, among all the second generation in the Taekwondo League, Song Chunhua's cultivation was almost the highest. Of course, not many people knew about Zhu Hongshue's cultivation. Finally, she was already 30 years old. That's right, she was already 30 years old. 30 years old and still not married, no one even dared to propose marriage. Because this woman was completely obsessed with martial arts. She had no interest in the matters between men and women. And her personality was straightforward. It wasn't that there weren't any men with a strong curiosity to pursue her, but the only ending was being cut in half by her sword. So, she was 30 years old and still not married. After that, her younger brothers and sisters were completely thrown into darkness by her. It wasn't that the world society leader Song Xiao didn't have any sons. He had 3 legitimate sons, and there were probably more than 10 illegitimate sons and concubines. But under the oppression of the eldest sister Song Chunhua, each one was worse than the other, and they couldn't make a sound in the world society. So, as one of the overlords of the world, Song Xiao's biggest worry was that there was no successor. Song Chunhua alone seemed to have taken all the essence of the Song family's disciples. But she was a woman, and it wasn't easy for her to inherit the world society. However, in a situation where there was no successor, Song Xiao was even considering letting Song Chunhua find a son-in-law to marry into the family and then pass the position of world society leader to his eldest daughter, Song Chunhua. But, even as a tool, no one dared to enter Song Chunhua's field of vision. This was because any man who dared to show the intention of marrying into Song Chunhua's family would only end up being split in half or castrated. Therefore, Song Chunhua was a woman who was even more manly than a man. After hearing Yang Dingtian's words, Qin Huayu was completely stunned. After a long time, he couldn't help but say, "Brother, I know you don't like me, but you don't have to harm me like this." "How did I harm you?" Yang Dingtian asked. "If you want me to sleep on the same bed as that peerless monster, I might as well sleep with a man." Qin Huayu said, "I'm afraid she's more like a man than I am." "So what?" "Yang Dingtian, you're the young lord of the northwest Qin city, how many beauties can you not have? Maybe Song Chunhua also likes beauties. You can marry a few more concubines and enjoy them with Song Chunhua." Qin Huayu looked at Yang Dingtian. "Brother, you've always been serious before. I didn't expect you to make such a joke." "I'm not joking." Yang Dingtian said with a serious face, "If you can't find such a beauty, I can help you find one." "You're crazy." Qin Huayu said, "You called me here in such a hurry just for this matter?" Yang Dingtian grabbed the sword in Qin Huayu's hand and suddenly pulled it out. Suddenly, a strong fiery aura shook the entire room. This fierce and overbearing sword weighed no less than 150 kilograms. The moment it was pulled out, it was like a raging flame, releasing a domineering aura that soared to the sky. On the blade, there were 5 words engraved, "I love Song Chunhua." These 5 words were resolute and fierce, just like Song Chunhua's personality. Moreover, these 5 words were completely composed of real flames that had been burning all along. Yang Dingtian handed the sword to Qin Huayu and said, "Inject your profound qi and give it a try." Qin Huayu was completely shocked by this sword. He couldn't help but grab the sword and then fiercely inject his profound qi. Boom! Suddenly, a ball of raging flames burned fiercely. Qin Huayu was completely struck by lightning and was speechless for a long time. After a full quarter of an hour, Qin Huayu said with a trembling voice, "Yang Dingtian, are you crazy? Do you know what kind of sword this is? The profound qi bonus is no less than 85%. Do you know that if you want to give this sword to my father, he would be willing to use 300 miles of territory in exchange? The best sword in my Qin city, even my father's sword, only has a profound qi bonus of 70%. This sword was tempered dozens of times with 10,000 years old blood black gold, and only a tenth of it was purified and forged. In the sword body, I used the million spirit demon fire to write a special rune pattern and permeated it with the golden energy of the Naga royalty." Yang Dingtian raised the sword and said, "You said that it is only worth 300 miles of territory, you are really joking." Qin Huayu sucked in a breath of cold air and said, "If it wasn't for the fact that I can't kill you now, I almost couldn't help but kill you and seize the treasure." Song Chunhua's heart is like stone, and she is most passionate about divine weapons and sharp swords. Therefore, I forged this peerless sword. Yang Dingtian said, "It is to let you marry her and successfully form a marriage alliance with the world society. Do you think that I will joke about such a peerless sword? Qin Huayu looked at the sword with infatuation and shook his head. That's right, if I marry Song Chunhua. Then in the fight for the throne with Qin Shiqi, I will have an incomparably huge bargaining chip. However, as long as I devour the heaven and earth mystic flame, my position as the successor of Qin City will be stable. Although Qin Shiqi's wisdom is as deep as the sea, after all, the primal chaos continent is a world where martial strength is respected. Then what if Qin Shiqi kills you before you devour the mystic flame? Yang Dingtian asked. Qin Huayu's body suddenly trembled as he said in shock, "No, impossible. This is impossible, how would she dare? If she dares to do so, my father will tear her into pieces. She is already prepared to do so." Yang Dingtian said, Qin Shiqi's fiancé, the young lord of the Ning clan in the South Sea, Ning Wuming, came to find me a few days ago and handed over a letter written by Qin Shiqi. They want me to think of a way to kill you, and they will use the Chaos Devil Turbidity in exchange. You know that I need that thing very much. Qin Huayu was completely shocked as he said with a trembling voice, "No, impossible, impossible. Is Qin Shiqi crazy? She can't do that." Yang Dingtian looked at Qin Huayu and sneered. "Do you think that the fight between you and Qin Shiqi is just for the successor of the Qin city? Childish. This is the fight between the Tiando League and the Evil Ways for the Northwest Qin city. Qin Shiqi represents the Evil Ways. You, Qin Huayu, represent the Tiando League." Qin Huayu immediately said with a trembling voice, "I represent the Tiando League? Why don't I know about it? Don't forget that I have worked with the Evil Ways and the Temple of Blood. I have also worked with Dugu Fengwu to murder Dongfang Bingling. Since when did I represent the Tiando League? From the moment you worked with me, you represented the Tiando League." Yang Dingtian said. "You?" Qin Huayu said, "Brother, it's not that my words are unpleasant. In the Tiando League, you are nothing. You are completely unpresentable. In the Tiando League, a small character like you is thousands of miles away from me. How can I represent the Tiando League just because I worked with you? What if I am the young lord of the hidden sect, Su Wuming?" Yang Dingtian asked. Qin Huayu was startled. He then pointed at Yang Dingtian and laughed until he held his stomach. He shook his head and said, "All right, brother. Stop fooling around. You know better than anyone that you are impersonating the hidden sect's successor, Wu Ming. Furthermore, you sold the authority to impersonate Wu Ming to the Northwest Qin city. I am not impersonating. I have another name, Su Wuming." Yang Dingtian said indifferently, "I am the only disciple of the hidden sect's patriarch, Su Wuming Piao Ling. I am the designated successor of the hidden sect." Qin Huayu said, "Brother, if you continue to deceive me with such a serious expression, we will stop here. This is the end. I don't want others to treat me as a fool." Yang Dingtian took out Su Wuming Piao Ling's crystal sword from his spatial ring and said indifferently, "You may not recognize this crystal sword, but your father will definitely recognize it. 200 years ago, this crystal sword was the highest-level military seal of the Tiando League." Qin Huayu looked at this crystal sword and his expression changed drastically. This was because there was a blue energy shadow dancing inside the crystal sword. Upon closer inspection, it was Su Wuming Piao Ling's hidden sect sword technique. This crystal sword was not a keepsake of the hidden sect. However, very few people knew that this was Su Wuming Piao Ling's personal item. "You may not know yet." Yang Dingtian said, "Qin Shiqi's fiancé, Ning Wuming, is a servant under the Temple of Annihilation's young lord, Li Ming. Your father is currently uncertain whether to stand on the side of the Tiando League or the side of the Evil Ways. However, he has been frightened by the power of the Evil Ways. Therefore, he is already leaning towards the Evil Ways represented by Qin Shiqi." Qin Huayu looked as if he was struck by lightning and remained motionless. "Your father can choose which side to stand on, but you have no choice." Yang Dingtian said, "Your only choice is to stand on my side. I am your greatest support, or even your only support. If you lose, the only outcome is death. Qin Huayu desperately gasped for breath and said with a trembling voice, "What if I win?" Yang Dingtian said, "If you win, you will be the master of Qin's sect. The northwest continent and the southwest continent will all be yours. There are 3 sects in the world. Black Sky sect colluded with the evil ways and will be exterminated. Your Qin city will change its name to Qin sect and take over." Qin Huayu asked, Then what are our chances of winning?" "At most 20%. Yang Dingtian said. "What?" Qin Huayu said in disbelief, 20%? You want me to gamble? I am not afraid to tell you the truth. I am used to standing on the side of the winner. At most, I will submit to the evil ways." "Who will you submit to?" Yang Dingtian said indifferently, "Who can you submit to? The Temple of Annihilation has already handed over the northwest Qin city to Ning Wuming of the South Seas Ning clan. Do you think it is useful for you to submit to him? He wants Qin Chichi, not you. Even if you sell your butt to him, he won't want it. Then I will go to the Temple of Blood's Dugu Shao. His status is higher than Ning Wuming," Qin Huayu said. "Dugu Shao." Yang Dingtian sneered and said, "His daughter, Dugu Fengwu, is the mother of my child. Now, she has been chased out of the Temple of Blood by Dugu Shao. His biological grandson, my biological son, has been brought to the Cloud Heaven City. He told me that he is standing on the side of the evil ways because he has no other choice. However, he sent his grandson to me and chased Dugu Fengwu out of the Temple of Blood. What do you think this means? It means that he thinks highly of you and thinks that you will win in the end?" Qin Huayu asked. "It should be so. Even though I find it strange," Yang Dingtian said, "I don't think that I will win, but he actually thinks that I will win." Following that, Yang Dingtian said, "But regardless of whether I win or lose, you have no other choice. If you choose to stand on my side, you will have a slim chance of survival. If you don't stand on my side, you will definitely die." Qin Huayu instantly stared at Yang Dingtian and didn't say a word. His eyes kept flashing with complicated emotions. One moment, it was fierce, the next moment, it was helpless. After a long time, Qin Huayu took a step back and bowed. "I am willing to stand on your side. Then marry that tomboy Song Chunhua and form a marriage alliance with the World Society." Yang Dingtian said, "This way, your father will at least have some misgivings and won't sacrifice you so casually." "That's right, let me ask you something. If your father decides to stand on the side of the evil ways, whose head do you think he will use as proof of his allegiance? He was willing to send his wife to a brothel to receive customers. Do you think he will be unwilling to behead his own son?" Qin Huayu's face instantly turned pale inside Yang Zheng's small house. Yang Dingtian, Yang Zheng, and his wife, Little Peach, sat around the table and had their meal. That voluptuous and fiery Little Peach had completely ignored her husband, Yang Zheng. She kept picking up food and pouring wine for Yang Dingtian. Her appearance was extremely flattering and seductive. Yang Dingtian acted as though he didn't see anything and just toasted Yang Dingtian cup after cup. "City Lord, Little Peach is pregnant," Yang Zheng said. Yang Dingtian nodded, "I know. After finishing tonight's meal, I will set off." Yang Zheng said. He then raised his wine cup and said, "Many thanks to City Lord for granting my wish." Yang Dingtian raised his cup and drank it. He then said to Little Peach, "All right, you are not needed here. You can leave." "Yes, City Lord." Little Peach instinctively threw a coquettish glance at Yang Dingtian. During this period of time, she was wearing gold and silver. Whether it was the clothes or the food, she couldn't even dream of. She wasn't willing to give up this kind of life even if she were to die. Honestly speaking, she almost couldn't even remember the name of Yang Zheng, who was madly in love with her. Therefore, during this period of time, even though she had married Yang Zheng and slept on the same bed as Yang Zheng every once in a while, she didn't speak a single word. Little Peach exaggeratedly swayed her waist and left. Only Yang Dingtian and Yang Zheng were left in the house. Yang Zheng, you and Yang Yen are both outstanding people. Do you know what your biggest problem is? Yang Dingtian asked. We underestimated the city lord, Yang Zheng said. No, I'm nothing. Yang Dingtian said, your biggest problem is that you have limited your sights to Cloud Sky City, causing your eyes and heart to be unable to contain anything else. If you weren't so stupid, I would have returned Cloud Sky City to you in at most 3 years. After all, with your talent, you are more than qualified to be Cloud Sky City's city lord. Yang Zheng said helplessly, we don't have a choice. Moreover, it's too late to regret it now. Then, Yang Zheng drank the last cup of wine and said, all right, I should be on my way. He took out a dagger from his sleeve and gently wiped it. Then, he was about to stab it into his heart. No! Yang Dingtian stepped forward, grabbed his wrist, and took away his dagger. You want to let me go? Yang Zheng said in a trembling voice. Yang Dingtian threw away his dagger and helped him sit up straight. Yang Zheng's body began to tremble and said, Yang Dingtian, what are you doing? Yang Dingtian placed his hands on Yang Zheng's head and said, sorry. Suddenly, Yang Dingtian's eyes released a terrifying light. Dark energy suddenly flew out from his palms and fiercely drilled into Yang Zheng's brain. Suddenly, the whole house suddenly darkened. It was as if countless ghosts were crying and wolves were howling. The originally warm room was as cold and terrifying as hell. Ah! Yang Zheng's body began to tremble violently. He struggled and let out a mournful cry. His handsome face began to distort. Ah! The scream reached its peak. Suddenly, a distorted white light was pulled out from his brain. Yang Zheng's puppet battle soul cried and screamed as it was sucked into the soul ring. Then, all the howling stopped. Yang Zheng sat on the chair in a daze. There was no expression on his face. His eyes were completely lifeless. He had completely turned into a walking corpse. He only needed a few more powerful puppet battle souls to be able to use Martial Uncle Ling Qingchen's corpse to create an incomparably powerful puppet battle demon. Looking at Yang Zheng, who had turned into a walking corpse, Yang Dingtian stared into his eyes for a long time and said, I will let you revive in another way. In the hidden art pavilion, Yang Dingtian searched everywhere again. He had lost count of how many times he had searched, but he still couldn't find the 4th stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. Ever since Yang Dingtian took control of Cloud Sky City, he had used countless manpower and searched almost every corner of Cloud Sky City. He had lost count of how many times he had searched, but he still couldn't find the 4th stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. The reason why he was so anxious was because Yang Dingtian had discovered a very serious matter more than a month ago. That was, his cultivation speed had slowed down, and it was getting slower and slower. It wasn't because of the Xian Meridian's accumulation. It was because with the Yin-Yang Qi transformation technique and Naga's Xian Meridians, Yang Dingtian no longer needed to cleanse his marrow and meridians. Yang Dingtian's cultivation speed was much faster than ordinary people. Moreover, because of the Yin-Yang Qi transformation technique. Therefore, ordinary people might need 2 to 3 years to break through a level. However, Yang Dingtian only needed 3 months to break through from a 1-star revered martial artist to a 2-star revered martial artist. According to this speed, Yang Dingtian would only need 4 to 5 months to break through to a 3-star revered martial artist. Once Yang Dingtian built the Xian Qi condensation purification array, his cultivation speed would probably increase even more. According to this calculation, after 3 years, even if Yang Dingtian didn't have any fortuitous encounters, he would still be able to break through to a high-level master. However, when Yang Dingtian broke through to a 2-star revered martial artist, he gradually realized something. His cultivation speed was getting slower and slower, and it even felt like it was going to stop. There was no problem with his Sea of Qi, his Xian Qi, and the Yin-Yang Qi transformation technique. Then, the only problem was that the cultivation technique he was cultivating could no longer satisfy his needs to break through. Originally, when he had just broken through to a revered martial artist, Yang Dingtian needed to learn the rank 4 pig-slaying swordsmanship. However, he couldn't find the rank 4 pig-slaying swordsmanship in the entire Cloud Sky City. Yang Dingtian asked Madame Shiman and even Tang Buizhao, but there was only one answer. In Cloud Sky City, there were only 3 scrolls of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. Although everyone thought that the pig-slaying swordsmanship was a scam, when it was first discovered, it was too strange and special. Therefore, the elders of Cloud Sky City still had a deep impression of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. In the entire Cloud Sky City, there were only 3 scrolls of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. That meant that the rank 4 pig-slaying swordsmanship wasn't in Cloud Sky City. As for where it was, he didn't know at all. The master of the hidden sect, Shiwu Piaoling, had said that Shiwu Piaoyan had once written the way to save the world in the last scroll of the pig-slaying swordsmanship, which was the 5th scroll. However, if he didn't learn the 4th scroll, then there was no way to talk about the 5th scroll. Even if it was placed in front of Yang Dingtian, it would be meaningless. At night, Yang Dingtian and Yan Yan lay together on the bed and played with the baby. The baby's ability to laugh was surprisingly low. Any funny face or strange voice could make him laugh out loud. Amidst the baby's laughter, the haze in Yang Dingtian's heart seemed to have temporarily faded away. However, after that, Yang Dingtian was a little distressed. The baby was playing too crazily and didn't sleep at all. Moreover, as long as Yang Dingtian and Yan Yan were a little intimate, the baby would cry loudly. Even when their hands touched, the baby would cry loudly. This made Yang Dingtian completely speechless. There was no chance to be intimate at all. In the end, it was Dugu Aoshuang who came in shyly. She carried the baby and coaxed him to leave, leaving Yang Dingtian and Yan Yan alone. The next day, after changing their appearances, Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu secretly left Cloud Sky City and headed north. The two of them didn't ride on flying mounts but rode on land mounts all the way north. The land of chaos was still chaotic, but to Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu, there was basically no danger in the land of chaos. Of course, Sky Demon City was an exception. 5 days later, Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu entered the world's most chaotic, most dangerous, most lawless, and most abnormally prosperous Sky Demon City. Their goal in coming to Sky Demon City was very simple. It was to subdue the Tigress of the World Society and successfully form a marriage alliance with the World Society. Of course, Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu didn't know where Song Chunhua, the Tigress, was. They didn't even know if she had come to Sky Demon City. The only thing they were certain of was that she would definitely come to Sky Demon City. This was because the Sky Demon City's great auction that was held every 3 years would be held in 3 days. This auction was undoubtedly the world's largest auction. The treasures in this auction completely surpassed Qin Mingli's auction in West State City. This auction spanned across the Tiando League and Evil Ways. West State City was merely the center of the Northwest mainland. Sky Demon City could be considered as one of the central cities of the entire chaotic mainland. Whether it was the Tiando League or Evil Ways, if one wanted to obtain or sell a treasure through an auction, they could only do so through Sky Demon City. If one had any treasures, even if it was stolen goods from Yinyang School or Black Heaven Sect, they could be successfully auctioned here. Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu walked into Sky Demon City's commercial palace, the world's largest, most mysterious, and most powerful commercial organization. "Hello, may I know if you are here to buy or sell something?" A beautiful fox girl came forward and asked gently. This was a fox girl from the half-human race. She was definitely illegal anywhere else. However, in Sky Demon City, there were many half-human beauties because this was also the largest slave trading area. "I am here to sell something," Yang Dingtian replied. "What is it?" the fox girl asked. "The world's #1 sword." Yang Dingtian replied. Yang Dingtian took out the peerless sword that he had forged. This sword was prepared for World Society's Song Chunhua. Yang Dingtian didn't know where Song Chunhua would be, but he was certain that wherever the peerless sword was, Song Chunhua would definitely come. At this moment, an average-looking person came forward. Another leopard girl asked in a hoarse voice, May I know if you are here to buy or sell something? Sell. That person said expressionlessly. What are you selling? The leopard girl asked. Pig-slaying swordsmanship. That person said expressionlessly. Yang Dingtian's heart shook violently. Chapter 390. The pig-slaying swordsmanship was extremely important to Yang Dingtian. Without the pig-slaying swordsmanship, Yang Dingtian's cultivation speed would become slower and slower until it stopped. However, the pig-slaying swordsmanship was only useful to Yang Dingtian. To anyone else, it was just a roll of waste paper. Then why would someone bring the so-called pig-slaying swordsmanship to the Magic City's merchant palace to auction? There was only one reason, and that was to target Yang Dingtian. Moreover, he had appeared behind Yang Dingtian. Was it a coincidence, or was it premeditated? If it was premeditated, did it mean that Yang Dingtian had already been recognized? Then what was their goal? Was the Temple of Annihilation behind this group of people? Qin Huayu, who was beside Yang Dingtian, also heard the words pig-slaying swordsmanship. Of course, he also knew the significance of the pig-slaying swordsmanship to Yang Dingtian. However, his face was expressionless, as if he did not care or react to the pig-slaying swordsmanship at all. What do you want to auction? The auction house's fox girl asked the middle-aged man again. The pig-slaying swordsmanship, the middle-aged man said indifferently. Yang Dingtian was surprised. He turned around and looked at the middle-aged man behind him. He had an ordinary face and an ordinary height. If he were to be thrown into a crowd, he would not be discovered at all. This was the reaction that Yang Dingtian should have. It was as if he was only surprised by the words pig-slaying swordsmanship, but his reaction was not excessive. The middle-aged man saw Yang Dingtian's gaze and nodded in a friendly manner, smiling. Yang Dingtian also nodded in response. Hello, because you said the best sword in the world, I have to let our appraiser appraise your sword. Do you permit it? The fox girl asked gently. Of course. Yang Dingtian smiled. Please follow me, the fox girl said softly before leading the way. At this moment, the fox orc maid said to the middle-aged man behind her, as far as we know, very few people need the pig-slaying swordsmanship. Only Cloud Sky City's city lord Yang Dingtian needs it. Do you need us to send someone to Cloud Heaven City to facilitate the trade between the two of you? Yang Dingtian was shocked when he heard that. The people from the Shang Palace of the Devil City were too amazing. Even an ordinary female receptionist knew that only Yang Dingtian needed the pig-slaying swordsmanship. There's no need for that. I hope to sell it at the big auction in 3 days, the middle-aged man said. I'm very sorry. Because we can't appraise the authenticity of the pig-slaying swordsmanship, and we're not sure if City Lord Yang Dingtian will come, we don't have City Lord Yang Dingtian's name on our list of VIPs. Every item in the big auction is very precious, so it's very difficult for us to put your item in the big auction. I'm very sorry. The fox girl was gentle and polite, but she was neither servile nor overbearing. Yang Dingtian followed the foxman's servant girl in front and didn't stop at all. His gaze was still lingering on her swaying back and buttocks. After passing through a door, the sound from the outside was completely blocked out. The fox orc maid brought Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu to a room on the second floor. Mr. Yutai, there's a sword that needs your appraisal, the fox orc maid said. Okay. An impatient voice came from inside. The voice was extremely loud and clear, even a little deafening. The fox orc maid pushed open the door and said to Yang Dingtian, please come in. Yang Dingtian was stunned when he walked in. Inside, there were all kinds of weapons. There were at least hundreds of swords, hundreds of sabers, and all kinds of pestles, rods, and so on. As for that Mr. Yutai, Yang Dingtian didn't see him at all. Let me tell you, don't casually accept gifts from me. I still have more than 1,000 weapons that need appraisal. Weapons are the least valuable items in the big auction. There are only 3 spots in total. Even the Divine Weapons Villa's work that took 10 years to polish can't be put up for auction. Don't waste your time. Mr. Yutai's voice was even more ear-piercing and loud in the room. But Yang Dingtian still couldn't see him. Go. I don't have time to entertain you. Just set a price and sell it. Don't even think about putting it up for auction. Yutai said, 100,000-year-old bloody black gold and 100,000-year-old mystic ice-cold jade aren't even qualified to be put up for auction, let alone you. There are only 3 days left. I still have more than 1,000 weapons to appraise. I don't have time. With that, Yutai crawled out of the pile of weapons. Yang Dingtian looked down. No wonder he couldn't see anyone. It turned out that he was a dwarf about 1 meter tall. His body was very thin, but his arms were shockingly thick, making him look very strange. It was hard to imagine that such a loud voice could come from such a small body. Why aren't you leaving? Yutai said impatiently, then leave the sword here. I'll appraise it for you in a year or 2. You're really crazy about getting rich. The fox maid looked at Yang Dingtian apologetically. She also wanted Yang Dingtian to give up. Yang Dingtian didn't say anything. Instead, he directly pulled out the sword. Instantly, the room lit up. The blade of the sword instantly released a flame-like light. The blade was transparent and extremely gorgeous. It didn't even look like a flame, but like the light of 2 suns. Yutai was completely stunned. Then, he suddenly jumped up and snatched the sword from Yang Dingtian's hand. He touched the thin blade with his fingers. The blade was really transparent. Through the blade, he could see his rough fingers. Yutai trembled all over. Impossible. Impossible. Then, he quickly ran into the inner room with the sword in hand. The sword was even taller than his body, so his running posture with the sword in hand was especially strange. However, when he ran out, it was even weirder. This was because he was holding a huge hammer in his other hand. Yang Dingtian could tell at a glance that this was the Mystic Fire Devil Hammer, which specialized in forging weapons. This Yutai was really impressive. He actually had the Mystic Fire Devil Hammer for himself. One had to know that only the Divine Weapons Mountain Villa had the Mystic Fire Devil Hammer. Moreover, Yutai's Mystic Fire Devil Hammer seemed to be even bigger than the one in the Divine Weapons Mountain Villa. Yang Dingtian knew why Yutai's arms were so thick. It was because he wielded this Mystic Fire Devil Hammer. Yang Dingtian estimated that this Mystic Fire Devil Hammer weighed at least a few thousand kilograms. This Yutai was not only a master appraiser, but also a master blacksmith. After running out with the Mystic Fire Devil Hammer in one hand and Yang Dingtian's sword in the other, Yutai did something that shocked the fox servant girl. He actually swung the sword at the Mystic Fire Devil Hammer. Ah! Master Yutai, you can't, not only did the fox servant girl exclaim, but even Yang Dingtian was shocked. This sword belonged to the guest. If it was destroyed, he would have to pay for it. This Yutai, without any warning, directly swung Yang Dingtian's sword at the Mystic Fire Devil Hammer, which could be considered the toughest thing in the world. Whoosh, sparks flew. The terrifying thing happened. The huge Mystic Fire Devil Hammer was sliced in half. What a shocking thing this was. Master Yutai looked as if he had been struck by lightning. He stared blankly at the Mystic Fire Devil Hammer that had been sliced in half. He stared at Yang Dingtian's sword in disbelief. The sword, which was as thin as a cicada's wing, was not damaged at all. It was not damaged at all. Not only Yutai, but even Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu were shocked. Yang Dingtian knew that his sword was sharp, but he did not know that it was this sharp. This was the Mystic Fire Devil Hammer, the toughest thing in the world. It had been sliced in half without any effort. Qin Huayu's eyes were filled with greed. Although he had also forged his own sword soul, he was not obsessed with sword souls. Qin Wanchou was a top expert in the world, but he did not cultivate a sword soul either. Qin Huayu needed the mystic fire more so that he could become stronger. Therefore, such a peerless sword was something that Qin Huayu yearned for even in his dreams. Master Yutai was stunned for a while. Then, he casually picked up a demon-subduing pestle and slammed it against Yang Dingtian's sword. Instantly, the demon-subduing pestle broke. Then, he took out a hell staff and slashed it against the sword. Instantly, a layer of the hell staff was cut off. Then, he picked up a huge thunder hammer and was about to throw it at the sword. At that moment, the foxwoman's servant exclaimed, "Master Yutai, you can't do that. This is the guest's weapon. If it's damaged, you have to pay for it." Only then did Master Yutai come to his senses. Then, he looked at the mystic fire devil hammer that had been sliced in half on the ground and cried out, "Oh my God, my hammer, my weapon." Only then did he remember that the mystic fire devil hammer was his weapon. His heart ached so much that his face twisted. "Where did you get this sword?" Master Yutai asked. "I dug it out," Yang Dingtian said. No wonder, no wonder." Master Yutai was both regretful and relieved. It was a pity because if someone had smithied it, he would really like to meet the smithing grandmaster. Relieved because he felt that if there really was such a grandmaster blacksmith in the world, as the best grandmaster blacksmith in the world, he would be in despair. Of course, the reason Yang Dingtian could forge such a treasure sword had nothing to do with his forging skills. There were only two reasons why he could forge such a treasure sword. The first reason was the huge amount of 10,000-year-old bloody black gold. The second reason was the heaven and earth mystic fire. You have such a treasure sword, but you're auctioning it instead of keeping it as a family heirloom? Master Yutai looked at Yang Dingtian bitterly. "I advise you to keep it for yourself and pass it down to your descendants." "I can't protect it. I'll only cause trouble," Yang Dingtian said. "That's true." Master Yutai said, "I can directly order this sword of yours as one of the 3 weapons to participate in the big auction 3 days later. It can even be used as the finale. However, I have another suggestion. Do you want to hear it?" "Please speak," Yang Dingtian said. "Don't go to the auction. Find the VIP who needs this weapon the most and hold a very small and secret auction," Master Yutai said. "Weapons are very rare in this level of auction. There are only a few VIPs who are willing to pay an astronomical price. We've already registered them. If you need, we can immediately contact them for you." Yang Dingtian was overjoyed. This was naturally better. "Of course. Thank you, Master Yutai," Yang Dingtian said. Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu took the treasure sword and returned to a luxurious restaurant to stay. Master Yutai said that if there were no accidents, there would be a small-scale auction for Yang Dingtian's sword tonight. Because the VIP who had a special need for the sword was currently in the Sky Devil City. After Qin Huayu made sure there was no one around, he said to Yang Dingtian, "What do you think about the pig-slaying swordsmanship that will be auctioned? Do you think it's real or fake?" "Maybe it's a trap," Yang Dingtian said. "But whether it's real or fake, we won't pay attention to it and won't be distracted. After the marriage with Song Chunhua succeeds, we'll immediately go to the demon realm at the extreme north of the Rapture River." "But what if it's real?" Qin Huayu said. "If we miss this chance, we might not have another chance." Yang Dingtian said, "What's mine will always be mine. The pig-slaying swordsmanship is only useful to me. No matter what, it will eventually fall into my hands. But now, it should be a trap. I won't cause any trouble." Qin Huayu looked at Yang Dingtian and nodded. "Okay, you have the final say." At night, the lanterns were lit. Sky Demon City seemed to have been completely activated and entered its most prosperous and blurry moment. The entire city suddenly became incomparably enchanting and blurry. This was Sky Demon City. It had the most beauties, the most wealth, the greatest danger, and the deepest sin in the world. Qin Huayu and Yang Dingtian sat in the carriage of Sky Demon City's merchant palace. Qin Huayu couldn't help but sigh. No matter where you come from, after entering Sky Demon City, you'll feel like you're from the countryside. Yang Dingtian didn't deny it and smiled. This kind of prosperity was completely abnormal. It was almost completely piled up by countless sins. Not long after, Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu once again arrived at Sky Demon City's merchant palace. This small auction was held in a very secluded and secretive courtyard. This was a very simple and unadorned room. The host of tonight's auction was actually Master Yutai. Originally, only 3 people were registered to participate in the sword auction. But halfway through, one more person came in, so there are a total of 4 people participating in tonight's auction, Master Yutai said. Among them, 2 are willing to reveal their identities, and the other 2 are anonymous. Yang Dingtian nodded and said, "May I ask who are the 2 people who revealed their identities?" Master Yutai said, "One is the young mistress of world society, Song Chunhua." Sure enough, Song Chunhua's name was the first to appear. Everyone in the world clearly knew of Song Chunhua's extreme love and obsession with weapons. Yang Dingtian didn't reveal any expression. Instead, it was Qin Huayu who frowned slightly. He was finally going to face this moment. Song Chunhua, the #1 tigress in the world. Yang Dingtian asked, "Then who's the second person who's willing to reveal their identity?" "Sub and Si Ning clan's young mistress, Wu Maji," Master Yutai said. At this moment, Yang Dingtian almost exclaimed out loud. Wu Maji, why would she appear here? She was Ning Yu's wife, the woman who was taken by Ning Wuming. Before Ning Yu died, she begged Yang Dingtian to save the woman. Why would she appear here? Yang Dingtian's heart skipped a beat and he immediately regained his composure. Master Yutai said, "As the owner of the sword, do you want to show yourself and meet the 4 bidders?" Yang Dingtian nodded. "All right, please follow me." Master Yutai led Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu to the living room outside. There was a screen in front of them and they could vaguely see 4 people sitting in the living room. "Remove the screen," Master Yutai said. Immediately, 2 young girls from the Foxman race went forward and removed the screen. Yang Dingtian immediately saw the 4 people sitting in the living room. Immediately, he was shocked again. Because the middle-aged man who claimed to be auctioning the pig-slaying swordsmanship was also sitting in the living room. It seemed that tonight's situation was really complicated and unpredictable. Yang Dingtian's first gaze landed on Song Chunhua's face. Indeed, she looked exactly like a man. The powerful armor sat there like a sharp sword. Her eyes were like torches, her face was handsome and strong, and she had short hair, which was rare. Yang Dingtian had been influenced by the Earth era, so he had a certain degree of association with Song Chunhua. He felt that she must have been demonized. At most, she was like Dongfang Bubi, whose gender was hard to distinguish and had a strange charm. If she was on Earth, she would definitely be a beauty. However, he was undoubtedly wrong. Even if she was on Earth, Song Chunhua still looked like a man, and a very handsome man. As for her figure, Song Chunhua was almost 1.9 meters tall, and her entire body was wrapped in armor, so no curves could be seen. Instantly, Yang Dingtian really wanted to mourn for Qin Huayu. Then, Yang Dingtian's gaze landed on the second person. She was also a woman. Her face was not very beautiful, but it was very delicate. She was definitely a pretty girl from a humble family. However, her figure was extremely voluptuous and was extremely seductive. She could be considered the most seductive woman Yang Dingtian had ever seen, even surpassing Qin Mingli. Such a delicate and clean face, coupled with such a seductive figure, was such a contrast that Yang Dingtian felt that his vision was blurry. However, tonight, she was practically a passerby to Yang Dingtian. The third person was the Ning clan's young madam, a woman who was destined to be entangled with Yang Dingtian. However, it was a pity that she was wearing a veil, so her face could not be seen. As for her figure, she was wearing very complicated clothes, so her curves could not be seen at all. The last person was the mysterious middleman, the middle-aged man who claimed that he was going to auction the pig-slaying swordsmanship. Master Yutai came to the center, and without any greetings, he said directly, alright, tonight we will auction this peerless sword. Anyone who wants it can call out a price. Of course, everyone knows that for such a treasure, money is meaningless. Please take out your most precious treasure to exchange for it. The sword will belong to whoever offers something that can tempt the owner of the sword. Alright, the auction officially begins. The middle-aged man was expressionless as he said plainly, "My price is the 4th stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship." Yang Dingtian's heart trembled. That's right, tonight's situation would be very, very complicated. Chapter 391. Yang Dingtian used more than 500 kilograms of 10,000-year-old bloody black gold ash, mystic fire, and even Naga's golden mystic chi to forge 10 top-notch swords. 3 of them were specially forged for Jiao Liao, Shimen Lai, and Yang Peipei. The remaining 7 were for other purposes. The sword forged for world's president's daughter, Song Chunhua, was ranked 2nd among the 10 swords. It was to attract Song Chunhua, the tigress, to marry Qin Huayu. He did not expect that there would be 4 people in the small private auction that Demon City's merchant palace had prepared for him. He also did not expect that Ning Clan's young madam, Ning Fu's wife, the woman who was destined to have a conflict with him in the future, would also appear here. As for this mysterious middle-aged man, he was even more confusing. Now, he was the first to bid, and the price was the 4th level of the pig-slaying swordsmanship, which was what Yang Dingtian needed the most. "My bid is the 4th level of the pig-slaying swordsmanship," the middle-aged man repeated. At this moment, Yang Dingtian really had a strong urge to agree to the deal. He wanted to verify whether the 4th level of the pig-slaying swordsmanship was real or fake. However, if he did so, it would be equivalent to admitting that he was Yang Dingtian. He would definitely put himself in danger. At this moment, Master Yu Tai smiled and said, "Don't be in a hurry to bid. We haven't seen the sword to see if it's worth the astronomical price. Mr. Xiao, please show us the sword." At this moment, Yang Dingtian's fake identity was Xiao Jianyue. He was also a real person, but had been secretly killed many years ago. It could be said that all of Ningning's human skin masks were real people. Yang Dingtian took out the sword and suddenly unsheathed it. Suddenly, the 4 people present opened their eyes wide. The middle-aged man was originally a little indifferent. At this moment, he was shocked and looked at the sword in Yang Dingtian's hand in disbelief. At the same time, the mysterious woman with a beautiful face and a devilish figure stood up. Her eyes almost instantly burst with light, filled with the determination to win. That's right, this mysterious woman really wanted this sword. As for Wu Maji, the young madam of the Southern Sea Ning clan, who Yang Dingtian was most concerned about, her eyes lit up, but she did not have any other reaction. As for Song Chunhua, she did not hide it at all. Her breathing quickened, her hands directly crushed the chair's handle. His entire body was like a sharp sword that had been unsheathed, releasing an intense battle intent. Of course, she did not want to fight anyone. She was going to fight for the sword-slaying swordsmanship. Without a doubt, Yang Dingtian's artifact sword would be able to capture one's soul at first glance. It was transparent, with the colors of the sun. It was extremely gorgeous, extremely domineering, and also extremely luxurious. Both men and women and men could not resist it. Next, we will test the sharpness of this treasured sword. The 4 of you can take out anything for it to cut. Yu Tai said. Song Tai. He, Tai, and the sword. The sword, sword. The sword. The World Society gathered 300 bloody black gold, sky devil meteoric iron, and golden beast soul. They paid a huge price and asked Master Yu Tai to lead more than a dozen blacksmiths to forge it. It could be said that this sword-slaying swordsmanship was Master Yu Tai's proudest work. It was definitely a famous sword in the world. This sword was also Song Chunhua's favorite in the past. The most exaggerated thing was that this sword weighed more than 1,300 kilograms. She came in front of Yang Dingtian, waved the 500-kilogram sword-slaying swordsmanship, and slashed down on Yang Dingtian's sword. Immediately, Yang Dingtian felt as though a mountain was pressing down on him. That kind of tearing air and the whistling sound of empty tie pressing down on him caused him to be unable to breathe for an instant. Song Chunhua was very strong. She was much stronger than Dugu Fengwu and Qin Huayu at their peak. Everyone's eyes were focused on Song Chunhua's sword-slaying swordsmanship. Compared to Yang Dingtian's sword, this sword-slaying swordsmanship was too huge. Everyone had a strong feeling that this sword in Yang Dingtian's hand would be smashed into pieces. Dang! A sharp and loud sound almost instantly pierced everyone's eardrums. Sparks burst out. Then, something that shocked everyone happened. The artifact sword in Yang Dingtian's hand was unscathed and wasn't damaged at all. Song Chunhua's sword-slaying swordsmanship was broken, and the upper half flew out, piercing through the thick wall and flying a few hundred meters. Song Chunhua was completely stunned. She had used this sword-slaying swordsmanship for a few years. In a head-on clash, this sword had never met any opponent. It was a synonym for indestructible. Right now, when facing this extremely beautiful artifact sword in Yang Dingtian's hand, the indestructible primal chaos heavy sword had actually broken and was sent flying away by the sword blade that was as thin as paper. As for that frighteningly beautiful sword, it was actually safe and sound. I want this sword. Song Chunhua said resolutely, no matter how much I have to pay, I want this sword. No hurry. Master Yutai said, the most important thing about a sword is its mystical qi. Everyone, please try this sword's mystical qi. Let's start with young Lord Song. Although Song Chunhua was a woman, she might not necessarily be the world society's young lord. But almost everyone addressed her as young Lord Song. Song Chunhua's eyes were blazing as she took the sword in Yang Dingtian's hand with trembling hands. Yang Dingtian realized that she was wearing gloves on both hands. This was a very special glove, a mystical qi battle glove. Not only was it very soft and sturdy, but it could also channel mystical qi. Wearing this glove would not affect one's combat power at all. Song Chunhua held the sword tightly and injected mystical qi. Bang! A loud sound was heard, and the entire house shook. Fiery red flames burst out from the sword and rushed to the roof. Yang Dingtian was shocked. When Qin Huayu injected mystical qi into the sword's reaction was not so fierce. This Song Chunhua was indeed someone who was obsessed with weapons. Her reaction was completely compatible with the sword's reaction. Song Chunhua's eyes shone with a piercing light as she stared at the sword in her hand. It made people feel that no one could take this sword away from her. Of course she would be shocked. That was because her primal chaos heavy sword only had a mystical qi enhancement of 55%. And even 55% was already the best sword he had ever seen. Of course, there were a few swords in the world that had mystical qi enhancement of more than 70%, such as Qin Wancho's sword. But that sword was nurtured by Qin Wancho for a long time. When he first got that sword, the mystical qi enhancement was only 50%. But at this moment, the extremely beautiful sword was already 70 to 80% Xian qi enhancement, which was completely unheard of. Mr. Xiao, don't sell this sword. Song Chunhua looked at Yang Dingtian and said resolutely, no matter what price others offer, I will definitely pay more than them. As long as you sell this sword to me, I will be your friend forever. Tell me, what price do you want? As long as you say it, I will definitely give it to you. After saying that, Song Chunhua looked at everyone present with eyes full of fighting spirit. Her meaning was very clear. No one was to fight with her for this sword. Master Yutai stepped forward and said to Song Chunhua, young Master Song, this kind of divine weapon is destined to have an owner. So, what is yours will always be yours. So, let's follow the rules. After saying that, Master Yutai extended his hands towards her. Song Chunhua took a deep breath. Although she was very unwilling, she still placed the sword in Master Yutai's hands. Alright, everyone has seen that this sword's appearance is unparalleled. Its sharpness is unparalleled, its firmness is unparalleled, and its mystical chi enhancement is also unparalleled. Master Yutai said, then, everyone can start bidding. Take note that everyone can only bid once. Then, the owner of the sword, Mr. Xiao Jianyue, will decide whose bid he will accept. Song Chunhua did not speak. At this time, whoever spoke first would be at a disadvantage. Pig-slaying swordsmanship level 4. The middle-aged man bid again and said indifferently. Master Yutai immediately looked at the pretty girl with a devilishly hot body. The mysterious girl shook her head lightly. It was obvious that she was determined to get it, so she was not willing to bid first. Master Yutai's gaze landed on Ning Clan's young Madame Wu Maji. A 9th rank mystical skill scroll. Wu Maji said indifferently. After hearing that, everyone's breathing became heavy. A 9th rank mystical skill scroll. Ning Fan had once bid for the Yin Yang reincarnation crystal, but he had said that it was a 9th rank mystical skill scroll. Wu Maji had only said that it was a 9th rank mystical skill scroll. If it was a 9th rank mystical skill scroll, the world had not seen one for many years. It was truly priceless. Although 9th rank mystical skill scrolls were extremely rare, the World Gathering and Northwest Qin City might have one or two of them. But even so, Wu Maji's bid was already shockingly high. In the eyes of many, a 9th rank mystical skill scroll was more valuable than a non-soul sword. Although a treasured sword could directly increase a person's martial power, it was still limited. On the other hand, a 9th rank mystical skill scroll could greatly increase a person's combat power, and there was a lot of room for improvement. Therefore, in the Primal Chaos mainland, weapons were not as valuable as mystical skill scrolls to high-level martial artists. After Wu Maji bid, Master Yutai's gaze landed on the mysterious girl and Song Chunhua. Both of them were determined to get the treasured sword, so they did not bid first. The two of them persisted for half an hour before Master Yutai said, "Both of you, time is precious. You will have to bid eventually." The mysterious girl gritted her teeth and said, "My bid is a map of a mystical flame. This mystical flame will bloom in 23 days. It is an Earth Grade 9 mystical flame." Once she said that, it was like a storm. The entire room was shocked. A map of a mystical flame? If that was true, then its value would be much higher than this treasured sword. This girl was so crazy to use a map of a mystical flame as her bid. Master Yutai's face trembled as he said to Yang Dingtian, "Mr. Xiao, we are unable to help you determine the authenticity of the map of a mystical flame here. You will have to make your own judgment." Yang Dingtian nodded and could not help but look at the mysterious girl. Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu's current destination was the demon area at the extreme north of the Rapture River. There happened to be a mystical flame there, and it was about to bloom. Without a doubt, the map of a mystical flame that this girl was talking about was the mystical flame in the demon area. However, Yang Dingtian did not know much about this mystical flame. He only knew that it was in the demon area, but the demon area was thousands of miles away. Yang Dingtian did not know its exact location. Therefore, he and Qin Huayu had to search thousands of miles. However, this girl actually said that she had a specific map, and she even knew the grade of the mystical flame clearly. Was she speaking the truth? Tonight was really strange and unpredictable. He did not know if the 4th rank of the pig-slaying swordsmanship was true. He also did not know if the map of a mystical flame was true. At this moment, Song Chunhua said, "How can you prove the authenticity of this mystical flame map?" "I cannot guarantee." The mysterious girl said, "The only thing I can guarantee is that this map will be given to the owner of the sword and not to a second person." Instantly, Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu could not help but look at each other. Master Yutai looked at Song Chunhua and said, "Young Mistress Song, you have to make a bid." Song Chunhua fell into an intense struggle as she slowly closed her eyes. After a few minutes, Song Chunhua opened her eyes and said, "Mr. Xiao, I will give you a city. The southernmost jadeite city of my world society, with a territory of 200 miles and a population of 150,000. As long as you agree, Jadeite City will be yours." When Song Chunhua said that, everyone present was completely stunned. Was she crazy? It was just a sword, and she was actually using territory to exchange for it. Territory was the foundation of the chaotic world. Unless it was something of a strategic level like the celestial chi condensation purification array, it was worth using territory to exchange for it. This girl was really crazy to use a territory of 200 miles to exchange for a sword. Therefore, after Song Chunhua made the bid, everyone present looked at her in disbelief. After making the bid, Song Chunhua heaved a sigh of relief and said, "I will definitely not regret the price that I have made." All four of them had made their bids. Master Yutai looked at Yang Dingtian and said, "Mr. Xiao Jianyue, now it is up to you to make the decision. Do you need me to give you some time and space?" Yang Dingtian slowly closed his eyes. Of course, out of the four bids, the one that moved him the most was undoubtedly the fourth stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. However, there was no doubt that it was a huge trap. If he jumped into it, it would be a dead end. Being blinded by greed was the most unacceptable thing. Yang Dingtian opened his eyes. Immediately, Song Chunhua looked at Yang Dingtian with a burning gaze. Qin Huayu could not help but feel nervous. Even though he knew the answer, he could not help but feel nervous when faced with his own marriage. "I have made my decision," Yang Dingtian said. Then, he held the sword and walked towards the person in front of him. After walking past the mysterious middle-aged man, he still looked at Yang Dingtian with a friendly smile and did not have any other reaction. After that, he walked past Ning Clan's young Madame Wu Maji. At this moment, Yang Dingtian could faintly see the eyes behind the veil. It was just a glimpse, but the eyes behind the veil were like knives that were carved into Yang Dingtian's heart. Yang Dingtian instinctively stopped in his tracks. Wu Maji's eyes were very, very beautiful. However, this was not the reason why Yang Dingtian lost his composure. Yang Dingtian lost his composure because this woman's eyes were vaguely familiar. It was even a little unforgettable, but he could not remember who it was. Moreover, this woman's glance was very strange. It was full of bewitching temptation, but also contained an incomparably complicated connotation. But when he looked carefully, he was completely unable to find it. At this moment, Yang Dingtian had almost forgotten what was going to happen next. He calmed himself down. Today's most important person was Song Chunhua. He immediately threw Wu Maji's glance to the back of his mind. Yang Dingtian walked past Wu Maji and arrived in front of Song Chunhua and the mysterious woman. Yang Dingtian could clearly feel Song Chunhua's rapid breathing and trembling hands. Yang Dingtian held the sword and handed it over to the mysterious woman. "This sword is yours. Please give me the Mystic Flames map." "Why?" Song Chunhua spoke with an intense voice. "Don't tell me my offer is not much higher than hers." The mysterious woman's breathing was rapid. Then, she received the sword with a slight surprise. Subsequently, she took out a scroll of parchment and handed it over to Yang Dingtian. "Many thanks." The mysterious woman hugged the sword and left immediately. She went outside the window and tapped her foot lightly. Her devilish and fiery body was like a butterfly that instantly disappeared without a trace. At this moment, Qin Huayu was also stunned. This sword was obviously given to Song Chunhua. Why was it given to that mysterious woman in exchange for a Mystic Flames map? What exactly was Yang Dingtian trying to do? However, Qin Huayu quickly calmed down and acted as though he wasn't surprised. Immediately after, Yang Dingtian cupped his hands towards everyone and said to Qin Huayu, "Let's go." Subsequently, he nodded his head and bade his farewell. Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu quickly disappeared into the night. Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu didn't stop. They immediately changed their appearances and arrived at a hidden courtyard. After entering the courtyard, Qin Huayu immediately spoke in a cold voice. "Yang Dingtian, what exactly are you trying to do? Are you toying with me? Why? You can't wait to marry Song Chunhua now?" Yang Dingtian laughed. "Bullshit." Qin Huayu said, "I don't want to be played. Explain the matter clearly. Yang Dingtian removed the mask on his face and took out another one from the jade box and put it on. Instantly, he became another person. Let's go. We'll openly pay a visit to Song Chunhua and propose for you, Yang Dingtian said. Qin Huayu said, propose my ass. Didn't you already give your sword to someone else? Yang Dingtian took out another sword and pulled it out. Instantly, the blade almost blinded Qin Huayu's eyes. He lightly wiped away the red mark on the blade, and 5 words were instantly revealed. I love Song Chunhua. This was the sword that was given to Song Chunhua. The sword that was auctioned earlier was just another sword. Qin Huayu looked at Yang Dingtian in disbelief. You, how many swords do you have? 2. Do you believe me? Yang Dingtian said. Qin Huayu stared at him and said, you madman, where did you get such a sword? In a magnificent pavilion, Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu formally requested to see Song Chunhua. Before the sword was auctioned, Song Chunhua's whereabouts were very secretive. However, after the failure of tonight's auction, she didn't hide her whereabouts at all, so Yang Dingtian easily saw her again. When Yang Dingtian saw her, she was practicing calligraphy. This was a very famous habit of hers. When she was incomparably angry, she would practice calligraphy. Otherwise, she was afraid that she would go berserk. Tell me, do you know where the treasured sword is? You have to be careful. I'm in a very bad mood today. If you lie, I will directly break your bones, Song Chunhua said coldly. After Yang Dingtian confirmed that there was no one around, he immediately bowed and said, Cloud Heaven City Lord Yang Dingtian greets Miss Song. Northwest Qin City's Qin Huayu greets Miss Song. Qin Huayu bowed. Song Chunhua was shocked. Her hand tightened, and the pen in her hand instantly shattered. She really didn't dare to believe that Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu would meet her here. After the shock, Song Chunhua put down the pen and bowed deeply towards Yang Dingtian, saying, World Society's Song Chunhua greets Cloud Heaven City Lord. To Qin Huayu, Song Chunhua only cupped her hands and bowed. She wasn't as respectful as she was to Yang Dingtian. Of course, this wasn't because she had any opinions about Qin Huayu. It was because Yang Dingtian was the Cloud Heaven City Lord. His status was comparable to the World Society's leader. And Qin Huayu was at most a young master. City Lord Yang, please take a seat. Song Chunhua let Yang Dingtian take a seat and then sat down to accompany him. After Yang Dingtian sat down, he said, Is Miss Song in a bad mood tonight? Song Chunhua nodded and said, I took a fancy to a sword that could be called the #1 sword in the world, but it was stolen by someone else. Song Chunhua was indeed more open and upright than a man. She could even say this kind of thing openly. Immediately, Yang Dingtian stood up from his seat and bowed deeply towards Song Chunhua, saying, There is something that I need Miss Song's forgiveness for. Only then can I speak. Song Chunhua frowned slightly and said, City Lord Yang, please speak. Yang Dingtian said, The person who sold the sword, Xiao Jianyue, is me.
Song Chunhua was shocked and stood up abruptly, saying, It's actually you? City Lord Yang, although I have never seen you before, I have been friends with you for a long time. I admire you from the bottom of my heart. Why would you do something so secretive? From her expression, Song Chunhua was filled with disappointment towards Yang Dingtian. I am ashamed. Yang Dingtian then took out a specially forged sword and handed it to Song Chunhua, saying, This sword was given to Miss Song from thousands of miles away. The one just now was just a replacement. Song Chunhua's expression shook. She took the sword and pulled it out. Immediately, light shone in all directions. Without a doubt, this sword was more outstanding than the one in the small auction. It was more powerful and domineering. Finally, Song Chunhua's gaze fell on the 5 words on the blade. I love Song Chunhua. Immediately, her eyes trembled and then quickly became cold and sharp. She looked at Yang Dingtian, saying, "City Lord Yang, what do these 5 words mean? Although you are a peerless talent in the world, you might be invincible in 10 years. But today, if I want to kill you, it will be as easy as turning over my hand. If you can't explain clearly, don't blame me for being merciless." Yang Dingtian said, "This is a betrothal sword. Here, the Northwest Qin City's young Lord Qin Huayu is proposing marriage to Miss Song from the World Society." Qin Huayu's body trembled when he heard the proposal. The atmosphere in the room suddenly became strange. This tigress from the World Society was so powerful. Even if Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu worked together, they might not be her match. If he really married her, she would be the #1 tigress in the world. Song Chunhua stared coldly at Yang Dingtian and said, "City Lord Yang, I will only ask you one question. Did you forge this sword or did Qin Huayu forge it?" Immediately, Yang Dingtian was stunned.
Chapter 392. I forged it. Yang Dingtian said. "You forged this priceless sword and gave it to me just to ask for Qin Huayu's hand in marriage?" Song Chunhua asked. Yang Dingtian nodded. "Why?" Song Chunhua asked. "Because I need the help of Northwest Qin City and the World Society," Yang Dingtian said. "If you need the help of the World Society, why don't you ask for my hand in marriage, but for Qin Huayu?" Song Chunhua asked aggressively. "I already have a wife," Yang Dingtian said. "You already have a wife, but you still married Qin Jiaojiao. That's not a reason." Song Chunhua said, "Of course, my appearance and attitude aren't a reason either. I believe that at this level of marriage, the woman's appearance is no longer important. Even if she's not a woman, it doesn't matter." Yang Dingtian suddenly realized why the other children of the World Society's leader were not outstanding. Because Song Chunhua was too aggressive, anyone who stood in front of her would feel a great deal of mental pressure. "City Lord Yang, please take a seat." Song Chunhua said, "I can tell you that I admire City Lord Yang very much. I've thought of you as a hero for a long time. If you have anything to say, please say it directly. If you trust me, please don't hide anything. Perhaps, this is the best way." Yang Dingtian returned to his seat and took a deep breath. "Miss Song, I do need the help of the World Society, but the person who needs it the most is Qin Huayu." Yang Dingtian said, "His position and even his life are already in danger. Therefore, the marriage with the World Society is extremely important to Qin Huayu. It could even save his life." "Why?" Song Chunhua said, "I know that City Lord Qin thinks highly of Qin Chichi recently, but I feel that it's to train young Lord Qin Huayu. After all, for more than 10 years, everyone thinks that Qin City's young lord is Qin Huayu. Although I don't have a good impression of young Lord Qin, I can't deny that young Lord Qin is much more outstanding than my younger brothers. In the future, when he takes control of the Northwest Qin City, even though he might not be as domineering as City Lord Qin, it won't be a problem for him to continue growing stronger. I don't see any possibility of City Lord Qin establishing another Qin Chichi. So, City Lord Yang Dingtian, aren't you exaggerating a little?" Song Chunhua stared at Yang Dingtian. "No. In fact, Qin Huayu's situation is even more dangerous than I said," Yang Dingtian said. "Please speak." Song Chunhua said, "It's best if you can give me a very trustworthy reason. Otherwise, my impression of you will change a lot. Because Qin Chichi represents the evil ways, and Qin Wanchou represents the Tiando League. Yang Dingtian, Qin Chichi's fiancé, is the young master of the Ning clan in the South Sea, Ning Wuming. This person is a loyal dog of the young master of the Temple of Annihilation, Li Ming. As for Qin Huayu, because of his coincidental collusion with me, he was helplessly placed on the Tiando League's side. Currently, City Lord Qin Wanchou is not optimistic about the Tiando League, so the scales in his heart have gradually shifted to the evil ways side. Once he officially chooses the evil ways side, then Qin Huayu's head will be handed over as proof of his allegiance. After hearing Yang Dingtian's words, Song Chunhua suddenly stood up. A powerful battle intent instinctively soared to the sky. She looked at Qin Huayu and said, "Is City Lord Yang's words true?" At this moment, Qin Huayu smiled bitterly and said, "My failure in the Dongli grasslands and my failure in scheming against Cloud Heaven City have made my father even more disappointed in me. My current position in Qin City is already inferior to Qin Chichi's, let alone the power I hold. To be honest, I have also colluded with the evil ways. I don't want to stand on Yang Dingtian's side, but I really don't have a choice. I'm asking if it's true that Qin Chichi represents the evil ways and that the Ning clan of the South Sea is the pawn of the Temple of Annihilation?" Song Chunhua asked. "You should ask Yang Dingtian about this," Qin Huayu said. "He's the only one in this world who knows about this. I'm the second, and you're probably the third." Song Chunhua suddenly looked at Yang Dingtian. "City Lord Yang, is what you said true? The Temple of Annihilation has really appeared again?" Yang Dingtian nodded. Song Chunhua's breathing suddenly became heavy, and the flames in her eyes burned fiercely. She said, "What do you have to prove the truth of your words?" "I don't have proof," Yang Dingtian said. "Even if what you said is true, even if the Temple of Annihilation has appeared again, what qualifications do you have to control the marriage between the world society and the Qin city?" Song Chunhua continued to be aggressive. "You're only the city lord of Cloud Heaven City, and your power isn't even 1/10 of the world society or the Northwest Qin city. What right do you have to worry about the matters of the Northwest Qin city and the world society? Let's not talk about other things. Just based on the rise and fall of the world and everyone's responsibility, I can't sit back and watch the Northwest Qin city fall into the hands of the evil ways. This will lead to a drastic change in the entire Northwest continent. Under the influence of the world society, they will also choose to fall into the hands of the evil ways. Once the Northwest continent falls, the entire world won't be far from falling." Yang Dingtian said, "The entire West has two pillars, the Northwest Qin city and the world society. I can't sit back and watch the Northwest and the North completely change. City Lord Yang, you're very outstanding." Song Chunhua said, "But I think it's very laughable for a fish and shrimp to control the fate of a dragon."
I don't mean to offend you, but no matter if it's you or Cloud Heaven City, you're all fish and shrimp in front of the World Society and the Northwest Qin City. The one controlling this matter should be the hidden sect master. At the very least, it should be the Yin Yang School's Dongfang Minmi or the Black Heaven sect's Zhu Qingzhu. At the very least, it should be Master Ling Qingchen or Fairy Dongfang Bingling. These people are currently the mainstays of the Tiando League. Yang Dingtian instantly fell into silence. The people Song Chunhua mentioned could be said to be the hope of the Tiando League, the hope of the entire world. But at this moment, all of them had already fallen and been destroyed. No one knew this secret except for Yang Dingtian. So, please forgive me for being blunt. You've already disappointed me greatly. I've already decided to chase you away. Please take this sword and leave." Song Chunhua said, "I just want to ask, what right do you, City Lord Yang Dingtian, have to control the fate of the World Society and the Northwest Qin City?" Instantly, Qin Huayu's expression became slightly ugly. Yang Dingtian fell into silence again. "Senior Qin, please leave for a while. I have something to say to Miss Song in private," Yang Dingtian said. Qin Huayu was startled. Then, he nodded and left the room. In the room, only Yang Dingtian and Song Chunhua were left. The two of them fell into a short silence. "Miss Song, are you loyal to the Tiando League?" Yang Dingtian asked. "I'm loyal to justice," Song Chunhua said sternly. "There are many things in the Tiando League that disgusts me. If you could only choose between the evil ways and the Tiando League, which side would you choose?" Yang Dingtian asked. "Tiando League," Song Chunhua said coldly, "I will fight to the death with the evil ways. I will never compromise." Moreover, the Tiando League is the Tiando League of the hidden sect, not some ambitious people's Tiando League. I will always believe that the hidden sect represents justice in the world. I will always believe in the nobility and purity of the hidden sect. One day, when the entire world falls into enemy hands and everyone decides to leave the Tiando League and surrender to the evil ways, what will you do? Yang Dingtian asked. Like a moth to a flame, I will die. If there is no justice in a person's heart, if I don't have faith, I will be like a walking corpse. Song Chunhua said, even if the entire world society, my father, and my family all surrender, I will not surrender. Even if everyone in the world surrenders, I will not surrender. Among the younger generation in this world, I may not be number one in terms of martial prowess or talent, but in terms of loyalty, I will definitely be number one. Yang Dingtian fell into silence again. After a long time, he said indifferently, some things are not as simple as just saying. Seeing Yang Dingtian's attitude, Song Chunhua was instantly furious.
He slashed his palm with his sword and blood spurted out. Boom, the flames on his body burned fiercely. Song Chunhua swore word by word, the 2 moons and 2 suns in the sky above, the god of chaos below. I, Song Chunhua of the World Society, will always be loyal to justice and the hidden sect. I will never compromise with the evil ways. I will fight the evil ways to the end, even if I am the last person. If I violate this oath, let the 2 suns burn my soul, let the god of chaos bury my body, and let me never reincarnate. Then, Song Chunhua stared at Yang Dingtian with a burning gaze and said coldly, City Lord Yang, you can question everything about me. But if anyone dares to question my fighting spirit against the evil ways, then no matter who he is, the sword in my hand will definitely help me get back the honor that belongs to me. Suddenly, Song Chunhua looked at Yang Dingtian with eyes full of raging flames. As long as there was a disagreement, her sword would immediately slash down. Yang Dingtian nodded and said, Miss Song, just now you asked why I, a fish and shrimp, am controlling the future of the world society and the Northwest Qin City. I, a fish and shrimp, am controlling the fate of the Northwest continent and the North. This is because other than me, there is no one else. Suddenly, Song Chunhua trembled violently. What do you mean? Song Chunhua's body trembled violently. Dongfang Bingling is no longer here. I watched her disappear with my own eyes. Martial Uncle Ling Qingchen is no longer here. I watched her get killed with my own eyes. My master is no longer with us, Meng Hao said. He died in the northern reaches glaciers. I watched him die. Zhu Qingzhu is also no longer here. He had already fallen to the evil ways long ago. Martial Uncle Shiman Wuya was killed by his soul-devouring Xian energy. Following Yang Dingtian's every word, Song Chunhua's face turned pale. Her body trembled, and she retreated step by step. These people were undoubtedly the mainstays of the Tiando League. But these people were all no longer here. Then the fate of the Tiando League? The Northwest Qin City's Qin Wancho was a fierce and ambitious person, but he could not be counted on. He would fight for his own ambitions, but he would not fight for the justice of the Tiando League. The World Society's Song Shao, Song Chunhua's father, could not be counted on either. He was the same type of person as Qin Wancho, but he was not as ambitious as Qin Wancho. The Cloud Sky Pavilion's master, the Earth-Splitting City's master. These people were all unreliable. There were only 3.5 people who had firm beliefs and were absolutely righteous. They could be the pillars of justice in the world. The leader of the hidden sect, the leader of the Yinyang school, and the former leader of Cloud Sky City, Shiman Wuya. Ling Qingchen was half of them, and now, Dongfang Bingling was half of them. No, you're lying, you're lying.
We still have the hidden sect, the supreme hidden sect, the absolutely powerful and absolutely righteous hidden sect. Song Chunhua said, as long as the hidden sect exists, the Tiando League will not die. The justice of the world will not be forgotten. Evil ways will not be able to destroy the world. Yang Dingtian said, the hidden sect once had two people, Su Wu Piaoling and Dongfang Bingling. Dongfang Bingling is Su Wu's successor? Song Chunhua asked. Yang Dingtian nodded. She's no longer here? Song Chunhua asked with a trembling voice. She's no longer here, Yang Dingtian said. Then we still have Su Wu. She was the savior 200 years ago, and she's still the savior now. She's the pillar that holds up the sky, Song Chunhua said sternly. Su Wu is also no longer here. I watched her disappear with my own eyes. Yang Dingtian said. Pfft. Suddenly, Song Chunhua spat out a mouthful of blood and fainted on the ground. No, you're lying. Song Chunhua shouted before she fainted. Su Wu Piaoling, or more accurately, the illusory hidden sect. It was Song Chunhua's belief, the spiritual leader that she fought for her life. The persistence of justice was Song Chunhua's spiritual pillar. In the world, the most persistent and loyal person was none other than Song Chunhua, the heroine among women. Now, all of her pillars had collapsed. Therefore, she almost collapsed on the ground. Yang Dingtian helped her up, put a pill into her mouth, and channeled his celestial qi into her. After a moment, Song Chunhua opened her eyes and looked at Yang Dingtian. No, you're lying. Yang Dingtian took out the reflection stone from his chest. Although there was only a short scene on it. Su Wu Piaoling became the Queen Devil Queen, and Dongfang Bingling became the Demon Princess Mu Dan, instantly stabbing Ling Qingchen to death. Then, the two spread out their evil and terrifying wings, flew to the horizon and disappeared. However, this short scene was enough to prove everything. Song Chunhua was completely stupefied. After a long time, her eyes turned slightly and said, Then what about the other people in the hidden sect? There's no more. There's only one person in each generation of the hidden sect. Previously, it was Su Wu Piaoling, and then it was Dongfang Bingling. Both of them are gone. There's almost no one left in the hidden sect, Yang Dingtian said. There's no one left. Even if there's only one, even if it's a floor cleaner? Song Chunhua said with a trembling voice. No, isn't there still the hidden sect's disciple, Wu Ming? Wu Ming is fake. Yang Dingtian said. You're lying. Song Chunhua said sternly. He knows lightning-type mystic skills and the hidden sect's unique sword technique. How can he be fake? Yang Dingtian, don't slander him. Because, Wu Ming. I'm impersonating him. Yang Dingtian said. Impossible, you dare to lie to me, I'll kill you. Song Chunhua suddenly pulled out her sword, and her entire body was filled with fighting spirit. Suddenly, the porcelain in the room was smashed into pieces. Yang Dingtian flicked his finger lightly. A bolt of lightning struck out. Lightning-type mystic skill, demonic sky split. Song Chunhua was stunned. She looked at the lightning that struck her sword, and her eyes were filled with despair. All her fighting spirit disappeared completely. Is there really no one left in the hidden sect? Song Chunhua sobbed. There's one more. Yang Dingtian said. Who? Song Chunhua asked. Me. Yang Dingtian said. You? You're a fake. You said so yourself. Song Chunhua said. Yes, I did impersonate him. Yang Dingtian said. But before the Nihility Piaoling sect master changed, she passed the position of hidden sect master to me. Of course, it's just a title, and a crystal sword. There's nothing else. I didn't learn any martial arts from her, and I didn't read any books from the hidden sect. I didn't even set foot in the hidden sect's secret world. Then, Yang Dingtian smiled bitterly. You asked me, as a small shrimp, why do I have to worry about such a big matter? Why do I try to decide the fate of the World Union and Qin City? Why do I try to control the Northwest continent and the North? That's because, I'm probably the only person left in charge of the Taekwondo League. I don't have a choice. You're the only one left. Song Chunhua said with a trembling voice. Then who's in charge of the evil ways now? Many. Yang Dingtian said, Temple of Annihilation's young master Li Ming, Great Grandmaster. The demonized Nihility Piao Ling sect master is now the Queen Devil Queen, Saint. Evil Ways' Princess Mu Dan, former Dongfang Bingling sect master, is close to Great Grandmaster. Shentian sect's Zhu Qingzhu, Great Grandmaster. Temple of Blood's Master Dugu Shao, Great Grandmaster. Joyous Palace's Master Gudu Roar, Great Grandmaster. Every time Yang Dingtian said a name, Song Chunhua would tremble and her face would turn pale. Of course, these are only confirmed. There are still some uncertain ones who are about to fall. Northwest Qin City's Master Qin Wancho, Great Grandmaster. Hades Sea's Master Wu Yu, Half-Saint. Your father, Song Shao, is close to Great Grandmaster. Shentian Pavilion's Master, Earth-Splitting City's Master, and a few others are uncertain and may fall at any time. Yang Dingtian said, at the very most, the Great Grandmasters who are completely on the Taekwondo League's side are all gone. Perhaps only the Yinyang School's Grand Elder is left. However, he may not have long to live and he's only a Great Grandmaster. Hearing Yang Dingtian's words, Song Chunhua trembled and said, the disparity between the two sides is so great. Then there's no need to fight the battle of extinction. Evil Ways will directly rule the world. Yang Dingtian nodded and said, now, those who are truly on my side are probably the three martial honors in Cloud Sky City and Wooden Sword Fort's Master Li Guinong, who's also a martial honor. There's also Qin Huayu, who has no choice but to take a side, who's also a martial honor. Our so-called righteous side is probably only Great Grandmaster Yao Rao. However, even she probably has some secrets in her heart. Then, Yang Dingtian smiled and said, now, behind the evil ways, there are about 7 or 8 Great Grandmasters and close to 2 half-saints. On my side, there are about 3 to 5 martial honors. Probably any one of them can crush all of us to death. In the primal chaos continent's tens of thousands of years of history, there probably hasn't been a battle of extinction that has such a disparity in power. Then, why don't they crush you to death? Song Chunhua asked. A cat playing with a mouse, only biting and eating it after it's done. Also, there's the Evil Ways Princess Mu Dan, who used to be Dongfang Bingling, who wants to kill me in the martial arts competition 3 years later, Yang Dingtian said. Then, Yang Dingtian looked at Song Chunhua and said with a smile, you wanted me to be frank with you, so I told you the cruel truth. Now, let me ask you, do you still want to join my side? Do you want to join my team of ants? Song Chunhua's eyes burned as she looked at Yang Dingtian, joining your side, no matter how I look at it, will end up being trampled to death. No, you might be crushed to death by a finger. Yang Dingtian said with a smile. Alright, then let's be crushed to death together. Song Chunhua said with a smile. Then, she knelt down on one knee in front of Yang Dingtian and kissed his scabbard. She said with a serious expression, Song Chunhua, am willing to forever be loyal to justice, loyal to the Taekwondo League, loyal to the hidden sect. I will forever fight against the evil ways, even if I have to pay with my life. Yang Dingtian was stunned. He only asked for Song Chunhua and Qin Huayu's marriage, but he didn't expect Song Chunhua to kneel down and swear loyalty. Qin Huayu's life and death were so close, but he didn't have any intention of swearing loyalty. He only wanted to be allies with Yang Dingtian, mutually benefiting each other. This Song Chunhua actually chose to kneel down and swear loyalty. One had to know that she was now much stronger than Yang Dingtian, and the forces in her hands were also much stronger than Yang Dingtian's. This person was far more righteous and noble than the legend said. Even if Yang Dingtian was just an empty shell of the hidden sect master, she still chose to swear loyalty. Even if Yang Dingtian didn't have anything to prove that he was the hidden sect master. Suddenly, Yang Dingtian couldn't help but ask, "Aren't you afraid that I'm impersonating the hidden sect master?" "I'll only say that I'm loyal to the hidden sect and to justice." Song Chunhua said, "If one day I find out that you're not, I'll naturally kill you. Moreover, by impersonating the hidden sect master at this time, perhaps you don't want to die quickly enough." That's right. Evil ways were now overflowing with power. Whoever pretended to be the hidden sect master would probably wear a halo of destruction above their head, the kind that would destroy themselves. Then, what do you think about the marriage with Qin Huayu? Yang Dingtian asked. "I won't marry for the rest of my life," Song Chunhua said resolutely, but I can find a beautiful younger sister, my father's first daughter, to marry Qin Huayu. Similarly, the world society can be connected to the northwest Qin city through marriage. Yang Dingtian instantly frowned slightly. This way, the effect would be much worse than Song Chunhua marrying Qin Huayu. "Don't force me. I'd rather die than marry." Song Chunhua said, "I can swear loyalty to the hidden sect, even if I have to give up my life. But you can't trample on my dignity and pride." Yang Dingtian nodded and said, "I respect any choice you make. Also, there's something I might need your help with." "Please speak." Song Chunhua said, "I can make half of the decisions for the world society." Around 80 days later, Qin Shichi's army of 100,000 will return from the southwest continent and attack my cloud sky city. I don't know how many master stage experts she'll bring, but it'll definitely be a lot. Yang Dingtian said, "This will probably be our Tiando League's first battle. If we lose this battle, there's no need to talk about saving the world in the future. I hope you can come and help when the time comes." Song Chunhua nodded and said, "I'll try my best, but I can't guarantee how many people I'll bring. Just like you said, my father's mind is uncertain, and he might not even put you, the Cloud Sky City Lord, in his eyes. I'm already extremely grateful that you can come," Yang Dingtian said. Song Chunhua hesitated for a moment and said, "City Lord Yang, forgive me for being blunt. How confident are you in facing Qin Shichi in 80 days? From what I see, the disparity in power between both sides is too great. I don't seem to see any hope of winning." Yang Dingtian thought for a moment and said, "I'm about 60% confident. If I can get something, I'm 80% confident. I'll kill Qin Shichi's army of 100,000 and thoroughly hurt Qin Wanshou, forcing him to give up on Qin Shichi and choose to stand on Qin Huayu's side, on our side. Therefore, this battle is extremely important. We can only win, we can't lose." 60%? Song Chunhua's eyes lit up and said, 30% is worth risking our lives. What do you need? Tell me. Demon Spirit Heart. Yang Dingtian said. Song Chunhua trembled and said, This is used to create battle puppet demons. That's right. Yang Dingtian said, I have a secret weapon against Qin Shichi's army of 100,000 that can crush them to pieces. As for the Grandmaster experts that Qin Shichi brought, this battle puppet demon is my secret weapon. But the battle puppet demon is evil, Song Chunhua said. As long as there's light in the heart, even if it's in hell, it's still light and righteous, Yang Dingtian said. But we don't have a Grandmaster level corpse, Song Chunhua said. We do. Yang Dingtian said. Who? Martial Uncle Ling Qingchen. Yang Dingtian said, I watched him die in front of my eyes. He was the one who asked me to make him into a battle puppet demon as a secret weapon to determine victory. Song Chunhua's eyes immediately revealed a look of disbelief. After a long time, she muttered to herself, Demon Spirit Heart. Any rare treasure in the world, regardless of evil or righteous. If you can't buy it in the merchant palace, you definitely can't buy it anywhere else. 3 days later, the auction in the demon city might be our only hope. If you really have it, I will do my best to help you obtain it. Many thanks. Yang Dingtian said. But, what about the 4th stage of the pig-slaying sword art? That's the most important thing to you, Song Chunhua said. Ignore it, It should be a trap. Yang Dingtian said, we only have one goal, and that is the demon spirit heart. Chapter 393. Qin Huayu, you can come in, Yang Dingtian said loudly. A moment later, Qin Huayu walked in and looked directly at Yang Dingtian. Song Chunhua is not willing to marry you, Yang Dingtian said bluntly. Qin Huayu's expression darkened slightly, and then he showed an understanding smile. But she is willing to marry her most beautiful and favored sister to you, Yang Dingtian said. So, you can still marry world society. Qin Huayu was stunned and didn't know whether to smile happily or dejectedly. Qin Huayu came in front of Song Chunhua and bowed. Thank you, Miss Song. You don't need to thank me. I didn't do it for you, Song Chunhua said bluntly. Yang Dingtian, all right, this matter is settled. From now on, the three of us will advance and retreat together, resist the evil ways, and stop the changes in the northwest continent and the northern lands. Then there's only one thing we need to focus on, and that is to obtain the demon spirit heart no matter the cost. This is related to the success or failure of our first battle with the evil Dao. It's the key to defeating Qin Chi and the evil Dao's experts. Miss Song, according to your estimation, will there be a demon spirit heart in this auction? City Lord Yang, please call me by my name. Song Chunhua said, in the past 10 years, I have participated in almost every auction of the Shang Palace. There are a total of 4. 2 of them have demon spirit hearts. One time, the demon spirit heart had been sold in a small private auction. The other one didn't have one. Yang Dingtian immediately relaxed. Only one of the 4 auctions didn't have a demon spirit heart. It seemed that the probability was very high. Song Chunhua explained, although demon spirit hearts are extremely rare, they are still priceless. So, many forces in the world have sent experts to the world cracks to hunt demon spirits. Unless it is a private transaction, there will definitely be one. Demon spirit heart. It was not like the yin-yang reincarnation crystal, which was formed by nature and was extremely rare. It was also not like the chaos demon turbidity, which required hundreds or thousands of alchemists to refine for decades. The demon spirit heart was obtained through direct hunting. Mo Ling. It was an extremely powerful half-energy creature that lived in the cracks of the void. Why was it called a half-energy creature? It was because its 4 limbs were made of terrifying darkness metal. However, his other bodies were completely made of energy. This kind of creature, from the moment it was born, roamed the darkness, chattering incessantly at every moment, making sounds that no one could understand. It was as if it had countless complaints, and it was filled with ruthlessness and anger at all times. It was hostile to almost everything. However, it was incomparably powerful and mysterious. Most importantly, it was mainly composed of energy, so it was almost immortal. In order to hunt demon spirits, one needed a very, very strong and professional team. They needed the best alchemists, mental energy masters, experts of the 4 types of mystic techniques, and people with mystic flames. They also needed many powerful cannon fodder. Therefore, the process of hunting devil spirits each time was bloody. Who knew how many people would die? However, there were still powerful organizations that took the risk to hunt demon spirits. This was because once he succeeded, it would bring about incomparably rich results. Mo Ling's entire body was practically a supreme treasure. Its 4 limbs were used to forge swords. In terms of firmness and sharpness, it was on par with bloody black gold. The most terrifying thing was that the darkness metal in its 4 limbs could almost resist most mystic technique damage and was immune to most mystic technique attacks. This was too heaven-defying. Therefore, if someone was rich enough to use the demon spirit black gold melted from the demon spirit's 4 limbs to forge armor, then he would have an almost heaven-defying defense. Of course, there might not be anyone in this world who could be so extravagant. After all, the demon spirit black gold refined from the 4 limbs of a demon spirit would not exceed half a caddy. To make a complete set of armor, one would probably have to kill hundreds of demon spirits. And in the past 10 years, there would not be more than a dozen adult demon spirits that had been discovered. After a demon spirit died, its eyes would turn into 2 gems. These 2 gems also had an almost heaven-defying effect. Once a mental energy master had the demon spirit eyes, he could cast a powerful demon spirit technique, control a powerful martial artist, and create a huge illusion. It could be said that a 9th-grade mental energy master with 2,000-year demon spirit eyes could kill an army of tens of thousands of people by himself. He could control this army to kill each other until everyone died. The demon spirit's body was composed of a special kind of energy. After the demon spirit died, this kind of energy would dissipate. But if time was right, this kind of energy could be collected, known as the demon spirit fog. If a special carrier was used to lock the demon spirit fog into the clothes, then this clothes could be worn on the body, and one could teleport. That's right. It could teleport. Because the demon spirit had a very powerful skill, which was teleportation. The older the demon spirit, the further the distance it could teleport. If one could collect the energy fog of 10,000-year demon spirits and make a special demon spirit clothing, then one could teleport nearly 1,000 meters. Imagine, if an expert could teleport 1,000 meters, how terrifying would that be? The demon spirit's final treasure was the demon spirit heart. The effect of the demon spirit heart was very direct. As long as it was placed on any corpse, the corpse would be resurrected. Of course, this resurrected corpse would retain the demon spirit heart's extremely brutal instinct, invincible and selfless, leaving only the instinct to kill. Therefore, to create a perfect puppet battle demon, it also needed a strong enough puppet battle soul to suppress the brutality of the demon spirit heart. In this way, the creator could control the powerful puppet battle soul to fight. All the things on the demon spirit's body were priceless. Therefore, once the demon spirit was hunted, it would undoubtedly become one of the final treasures of the auction. Young Master Qin, if I remember correctly, your father also personally led a team to hunt the demon spirit, right? Song Chunhua suddenly said. Qin Huayu nodded and said, that's right, a master was crippled, 2 masters were seriously injured, and 5 martial venerables died. He successfully hunted an 800-year demon spirit. Yang Dingtian was immediately shocked. For an 800-year demon spirit, they actually paid such a terrible price. Only the Northwest Qin city could afford such a price. No wonder everything on Mo Ling's body was priceless. What about the demon spirit heart? Song Chunhua asked. It has already been used. Qin Huayu said, don't tell me which corpse it was used on. I don't know either. In fact, I don't even know where the demon spirit's limbs, eyes, and fog are. In any case, I didn't get a single treasure from the demon spirit. Song Chunhua said, my father originally planned to bring people to hunt the demon spirit, but after hearing the price city lord Qin Wancho paid, he gave up on this plan. My father only went to hunt once, and then he gave up. The price was too great. Qin Huayu said. Yang Dingtian looked at Song Chunhua and said, Chunhua, how many treasures are there in total in the auction every year? 30. Song Chunhua said, so, none of them are not treasures. Weapons can be considered the least valuable ones. Then before the auction, will these treasures be announced to the outside world? Yang Dingtian asked. Absolutely not. Song Chunhua said, only when the seller conducts a small-scale private auction will the Shang Palace announce the treasures to buyers who are interested in such treasures. How is your relationship with the Shang Palace of the Demon City? Yang Dingtian asked. It's okay. Because I'm their loyal buyer, the price I spent here is astronomical, so my level is still relatively high. Song Chunhua said. Then go and inquire if there is a demon spirit heart in this auction. They don't need to tell you directly, a very vague hint will do. Yang Dingtian said, the value of this demon spirit heart is too high, I'm afraid the competition will be very fierce. If there is a demon spirit heart, then in the next 3 days, we will do everything possible to gather the astronomical amount of money needed for the auction. Yes. Song Chunhua got up and walked outside. Yang Dingtian, I suspect that my father used the treasures on the demon spirit on Qin Chichi. Qin Huayu suddenly said, at least one or two of them. Yang Dingtian nodded. So, you can bet on me, but it's best not to have too much hope. Qin Huayu said. As long as there is a slight possibility, we have to put in 120% of our effort. Yang Dingtian said. Then, the two of them were silent. Suddenly, Qin Huayu said, how did you convince Song Chunhua? She actually follows your lead. I'm really in awe and astonished. Yang Dingtian turned to look at Qin Huayu and said, because, she is incomparably loyal to justice and to the hidden sect. About 2 hours later, Song Chunhua came back. City Lord Yang, there is a demon spirit heart. Song Chunhua said, but the seller is very mysterious, and he is unwilling to stop the private small-scale auction. He wants to bid in the big auction. Yang Dingtian let out a long sigh of relief in his heart. It was good to have the demon spirit heart. Then, all that was left was to fight for this priceless treasure. This thing was too important to Yang Dingtian. It directly determined the life and death of Cloud Sky City in 80 days. So, even if he had to pay a huge price, Yang Dingtian had to get it. Chunhua, what was the price of the demon spirit heart in the past years? Yang Dingtian asked. 5 million devil coins. Song Chunhua said. Devil coins? What is that? Yang Dingtian said, such a priceless thing can be bought with money? Devil coins are the special currency of the demon city. This kind of currency can't be used in any circulation, and it can't be exchanged with gold coins. Song Chunhua said, but this kind of devil coins can be used to buy territories, air armies, sea fleets, cities, ancient epic artifacts, 8th and 9th grade martial arts manuals, 8th and 9th grade mystical skill manuals, 9th grade pills, and so on. Suddenly, Yang Dingtian was completely stunned. This devil coin was completely omnipotent. Almost anything in the world that couldn't be traded could be bought with it. Compared to the gold coins of the Tiando League, or even the purple crystal coins, devil coins were more powerful and terrifying. Who was behind this demon city chamber of commerce? Song Chunhua continued, any force can come to the demon city chamber of commerce to exchange for devil coins. There are secret manuals, top-grade pills, epic weapons, territories, soldiers, flying demon mounts, and so on. The Demon City Chamber of Commerce will issue the same amount of devil coins as the forces of the world exchange for strategic items. So, for nearly 1,000 years, devil coins have been strong. Yang Dingtian raised his eyebrows and said, then, could this Demon City Chamber of Commerce be built by evil ways? No. Song Chunhua said, because the history of the Demon City Chamber of Commerce is much earlier than the Evil Ways and the Tiando League. Yang Dingtian sucked in a breath of cold air. This Demon City's merchant palace was truly mysterious. Of course, even if the Demon City Chamber of Commerce wasn't powerful, as long as it had the original records of devil coins, it was invincible. No force would dare to do anything to it. This was because the Demon City Chamber of Commerce represented the interests of all the major forces in the world. Whether it was the Tiando League or the Evil Ways, the Demon City Chamber of Commerce had a huge amount of wealth. Once the Demon City Chamber of Commerce was destroyed, the devil coins in the hands of all the forces would be completely useless. Suddenly, Yang Dingtian was surprised to find that there was such an economic organization that was above the Evil Ways and the Tiando League. Of course, it couldn't be said to be above, but detached and independent. Originally, Yang Dingtian thought that the economic empire controlled by West Prefecture cities Qinmengli was extremely powerful. He also thought that the central bank of the Tiando League was extremely powerful. Compared to the Demon City Chamber of Commerce, it was child's play. How much is 5 million devil coins equivalent to? Yang Dingtian asked. Qin Huayu said, how much did you spend on the 8th grade Devil Flame Saber art that you got from the auction in West Prefecture City? It seems to be a few 100 million gold coins, Yang Dingtian said. Qin Huayu said, If an 8th grade mystic skill manual is exchanged at the Demon City Chamber of Commerce, it should be worth 30,000 devil coins. My God! Yang Dingtian exclaimed in his heart. Song Chunhua said, a 3,000-man, fully armed elite cavalry army is worth about 300,000 devil coins. My God! Yang Dingtian exclaimed in his heart again. In other words, an army like the Black Blood Cavalry needed 50,000 people to exchange for a devil spirit heart. This was a completely abnormal price. No sect leader would make such a deal. Yang Dingtian took a deep breath and said, "Next, let's count our assets. I have 300,000 devil coins at the Demon City Chamber of Commerce. With my credit rating, I can loan out 500,000 devil coins," Song Chunhua said, "so, I have 800,000 devil coins in cash." Yang Dingtian looked at Qin Huayu. "I only have 100,000 devil coins at the Demon City Chamber of Commerce. With my credit rating, I can only loan out 200,000, Qin Huayu said. The reason why there was such a big difference between him and Song Chunhua was that he was not a regular customer of the Demon City Chamber of Commerce. Moreover, his status in Qin City was not as high as Song Chunhua's in the world society. "I don't think I have any devil coins at the Demon City Chamber of Commerce. I don't know how much I can loan out with my credit rating," Yang Dingtian said. "I should be able to loan out 50,000, Song Chunhua said. Yang Dingtian almost wanted to curse out loud. She was looking down on him. Was the dignified Cloud Sky City Lord worth so little devil coins? The three of them added up to only 1,100,000 devil coins. Even if the Devil Spirit Heart was worth 8 million, there was still a gap of 6 million devil coins. Song Chunhua said, "We need to sell all the treasures we have and exchange them for devil coins at the Demon City Chamber of Commerce. I have a set of 8th grade Superior Martial Skill Scrolls, 2 8th grade Mystic Skill Scrolls, and 3 8th grade Superior Beast Soul Elixirs." Yang Dingtian said, I have an Ice Elemental Mystic Talisman and 3 9th grade elixirs. There are also some Holy Water elixirs that can almost bring the dead back to life. There are also a few 8th grade and 9th grade scrolls." 9th grade scrolls? Song Chunhua exclaimed, 9th grade scrolls can't be sold. "Yes, I can't sell it because it's not even mine," Yang Dingtian said. Song Chunhua said, "You have an Ice Elemental Mystic Talisman?" Yang Dingtian nodded. Song Chunhua said, "Then, it's very valuable." Then, Song Chunhua looked at Qin Huayu. "I didn't bring anything." Qin Huayu said, I only have this." Qin Huayu took out something that looked like a crystal jade piece. It was extremely beautiful, and it was constantly flashing with beautiful lightning. What he took out was a Thunder Elemental Mystic Talisman. "You're also selling this?" Yang Dingtian exclaimed. A Thunder Elemental Mystic Talisman represented the identity of a fake disciple of the hidden sect. Qin City had spent an astronomical price to buy the qualification to impersonate a hidden sect disciple. Although the Demon Spirit Heart was priceless, it was not on the same level as the Yin-Yang Reincarnation Crystal and the Mystic Qi Condensation Formation. The Yin-Yang Reincarnation Crystal and the Mystic Qi Condensation Formation were completely strategic. For example, the Demon Spirit Heart was 1,000 advanced fighter jets. And the Yin-Yang Reincarnation Crystal meant nuclear weapons. In terms of price, of course, a few nuclear weapons could not compare to 1,000 advanced fighter jets. But in terms of value, 10,000 fighter jets might not be comparable to nuclear weapons. At this point, you can't even keep your life. Why are you still thinking about impersonating a hidden sect disciple? Qin Huayu said, "Defeating Qin Shichi is more important, saving your life is more important." "Okay, then let's gather these treasures and go to the Demon City's merchant hall to exchange for devil coins," Yang Dingtian said. Then, they began to count the treasures. Yang Dingtian took out an 8th grade Beast Soul Elixir and 3 9th grade Divine Origin Elixirs. An Ice Elemental Mystic Talisman and a treasured sword of the same grade as the Mysterious Lady. In the end, Yang Dingtian did not take out the sacred water elixir to sell. Because once he took it out, he would face the danger of being exposed and be killed. Song Chunhua took out an upper 8th grade martial skills scroll, an upper 8th grade mystic skills scroll, a middle 8th grade mystic skills scroll, and 3 upper 8th grade beast soul elixirs. Qin Huayu took out a lightning elemental mystic talisman. The 3 of them came to the Demon City's merchant hall, in a very ordinary room. 10 old men sat side by side on a long bench, a long table in front of them. Yang Dingtian placed all the treasures on the long table, waiting for the 10 injured Demon City's merchant hall to appraise and determine the value. Without a doubt, the treasures that Yang Dingtian took out would cause a commotion in other places. It would cause many forces to fight over them, and countless people would pay with their lives. But in the face of these treasures, the 10 elders of the Demon City's merchant hall looked indifferent, as if they were not looking at treasures at all, but ordinary pots and pans. Yang Dingtian, Qin Huayu, and Song Chunhua sat in the chairs below, quietly waiting for the 10 elders to finish appraising and give the price. Of course, once they gave the price, there was no room for negotiation. Moreover, the merchant hall's price was very fair. Even if they wanted to cheat you, it was very fair. After a full 2 hours, the treasures that Yang Dingtian gave out were completely appraised. The old man in the middle was wearing a purple robe with a gold border embroidered on the collar. He was the highest ranking among the 10 elders, the gold merchant elder. The appraisal has been completed. All your items are worth 3 million devil coins, are you willing to exchange? The gold merchant elder said. Immediately, Song Chunhua exclaimed, 3 million yuan. How can it be so little? Miss Song, are you doubting us? The gold merchant elder said coldly. Chunhua doesn't dare. Song Chunhua said, but the other things in our treasures are not considered rare. But an ice attribute Xian talisman and a lightning attribute Xian talisman are completely priceless. Our valuation of the ice attribute Xian talisman is 500,000 devil coins, do you have any objections? The gold merchant elder said. No objections, this valuation is very correct. Song Chunhua said, what about the lightning attribute Xian talisman, 150,000 devil coins? The gold merchant elder said. At this time, even Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu could not help but exclaim. What was going on? Why was the extremely rare lightning attribute Xian talisman only 1/3 of the price of the ice attribute Xian talisman? According to Yang Dingtian's imagination, it was at least 10 times the price of the ice attribute Xian talisman. The demand for the ice attribute Xian talisman is high, and it can obviously improve cultivation. The gold merchant elder said, but the lightning attribute Xian talisman is just a superficial effect, it is not very useful for cultivation breakthrough. For those who need it, it is priceless. But for the vast majority of people, it is worthless. We are only considering its rarity, which is why we gave it a value of 150,000. Do you have any objections? The gold merchant elder said. Yang Dingtian and Song Chunhua looked at each other and shook their heads, indicating that they had no objections. What the gold merchant elder said was indeed very reasonable. The lightning attribute Xian talisman was priceless for those who needed it. For most people, it was just a sensationalist thing. However, in this way, there was a gap of 4 million devil coins. This was based on the situation that the bidding price of the demon spirit heart was the same as last time. In fact, the price of the demon spirit heart was increasing every year. Therefore, Yang Dingtian had to prepare at least 10 million devil coins to be more confident. For the demon spirit heart, Yang Dingtian was absolutely determined to get it. I have an idea, you can refer to it. The gold merchant elder said, you can put this lightning attribute Xian talisman up for auction at the big auction. If you are lucky enough to meet someone who wants it very much, then it may be sold at a very good price. Yang Dingtian thought for a moment, nodded and said, okay, let's do it. We will put the lightning attribute Xian talisman up for auction at the big auction. Okay, then please pay 500,000 devil coins for the handling fee. The Devil City elder said, because we are not sure if anyone wants this lightning attribute Xian talisman, so if you want it to go to the big auction, you have to pay 500,000 devil coins. Yang Dingtian was stunned. This was too much of a scam and the risk was too great. However, he could only try his best. Okay, we will pay. Yang Dingtian said. 3 days later, the big auction began. Yang Dingtian, Qin Huayu and Song Chunhua, with more than 3 million devil coins, entered the exclusive secret box of the big auction. Chapter 394. Yang Dingtian and the other two racked their brains to gather these treasures and sold them for about 3 million devil coins. Among them, Song Chunhua's superior 8th grade martial arts scroll was exchanged for 900,000 devil coins. Her superior 8th grade mystic skills scroll was exchanged for 900,000 devil coins. Her medium 8th grade mystic skills scroll was exchanged for 200,000 devil coins. 3 superior 8th grade beast soul elixirs were exchanged for 150,000 devil coins. Yang Dingtian's superior 8th grade beast soul elixirs were exchanged for 50,000 devil coins. 3 9th grade divine origin elixirs were exchanged for 30,000 devil coins. An ice element dark talisman was exchanged for 500,000 devil coins. In the end, Yang Dingtian's sword was not directly exchanged. Instead, it was used as a weapon in the auction and did not have to pay any money. The merchant palace of Demon City only offered 500,000 devil coins for the sword, so it was necessary to gamble on it at the auction. Song Chunhua's treasures were exchanged for 2 million devil coins. Yang Dingtian's treasures were exchanged for 580,000 devil coins. Speaking of which, the exchange of devil coins was out of Yang Dingtian's expectations. For example, the 9th grade divine origin elixirs and superior 8th grade beast soul elixirs were coveted treasures in any force. However, the merchant palace of Demon City received a humiliating price. Yang Dingtian could not help but wonder why the 9th grade divine origin elixirs were so cheap. One of the old men asked someone to bring out a box and opened it expressionlessly. Yang Dingtian looked inside and saw that it was filled with 9th grade divine origin elixirs. Then, the gold merchant said that the price of the 9th grade divine origin elixirs was set many years ago, so it was not easy to change it. Otherwise, they would not even be able to exchange for 1/10 of the price. This was because the merchant palace of Demon City had hoarded thousands of 9th grade divine origin elixirs. Unless there was a large-scale war, these divine origin elixirs would probably never be sold. Yang Dingtian understood after hearing this. The 9th grade divine origin elixir was a heaven-defying elixir, but it was only used for healing. Alchemists who could refine 9th grade divine origin pills were extremely rare. There were no more than 10 of them in the world. However, as long as the 10 of them started producing, the number of grade 9 divine origin pills they could produce would be an incredible number. Therefore, most of the forces were begging for a grade 9 divine origin pill. Those top forces were even too embarrassed to exchange the divine origin pill for devil coins at the merchant hall of the Devil City. Therefore, the total value of Yang Dingtian and Song Chunhua's treasures was less than 3 million devil coins. In addition, Song Chunhua took out all of her magic coins and used up her credit limit to loan out a sum of magic coins. In addition, Qin Huayu had used his identity as the young master of Qin City to loan out all the devil coins. Of course, Yang Dingtian had also used the pitiful quota of the Cloud Sky City Lord to loan out all the devil coins. Finally, the three of them pooled together around 4 million devil coins. After deducting the 500,000 devil coins used to buy the lightning-type talisman for the auction, Yang Dingtian only had a pitiful 3.5 million devil coins left. The price of the devil's spirit heart was at least more than 8 million. Therefore, with a huge gap left, Yang Dingtian could only pin all his hopes on the treasure sword and the lightning-type talisman. With the sound of the hammer, the Devil City auction that was held once every 3 years officially began. The entire auction hall was very grand and huge. Hundreds of independent boxes were arranged in a staircase, like a stadium, surrounding the auction stage in the center. As the world's top auction that could even influence the world's forces, it seemed very dull. Not to mention the singing and dancing beauties, even the auctioneer was a mediocre middle-aged man. The auction officially begins. The first item to be auctioned is the Grade 9 Medium Mystic Skill, Heaven and Earth Devil Art. As soon as the voice fell, a wave of excitement seemed to surge in all the surrounding boxes. Yang Dingtian was also startled by this. The first auction item was already so shocking. This auction was simply too astonishing. Yang Dingtian's memory of the universe extinction record was still fresh in his mind. When he was dueling with Shiminju, he was almost desperate. Because what Shiminju used was the mystic skill, Heaven and Earth extinction record. This terrifying mystic skill could reverse your mystic skill attack and make the mystic skill that you released completely attack your own body. It could detonate the mystic skill that you just executed. At that time, in Yang Dingtian's view, this mystic skill was close to a bug and virtually unsolvable. If not for Yang Dingtian possessing the million spirit demon fire and countless resentful spirits, secretly changing the internal energy method of Shiminju's Heaven and Earth extinction record, not only would Yang Dingtian be defeated in the martial duel, he would have long been smashed to pieces. This Heaven and Earth extinction record was so shocking, but it was merely Grade 8 medium. And this Heaven and Earth Devil Art was Grade 9 medium. How should one describe the disparity between the two? Grade 8 Medium Mystic Skill Scroll was 3 to 4 times more expensive than Grade 8 Elementary Mystic Skill Scroll. Grade 8 High Mystic Skill Scroll was 3 to 4 times more expensive than Grade 8 Medium. Extrapolating from this, it was also to say that the value of this Grade 9 Medium Mystic Skill Scroll was 30 times more expensive than Shiminju's Heaven and Earth extinction record. Therefore, according to the literal calculation, this Grade 9 Medium Mystic Skill Scroll's price should be around 6 million. Immediately, Yang Dingtian could not help but be curious about the final auction price of this Grade 9 Medium Mystic Skill Scroll. 8 million. Someone was the first to bid. Immediately, Yang Dingtian jumped in fright. No way. Shouldn't it be around 6 million? How could it be 8 million all of a sudden? This is too crazy. 8, 3 million. 8, 5 million. 8, 9 million. 9, 5 million, 10 million devil coins. At this time, Yang Dingtian was already completely shocked to the point of speechlessness. Then, he touched the devil coins in his pocket and suddenly felt that he was really down and out. Just the first item was sold for 10 million devil coins. This was too crazy. According to the calculation of the steps, it was not even 10 million devil coins. Yang Dingtian could not help but ask, this price is normal? Qin Huayu turned around and nodded, it's normal. If my father was here, he would give it his all, maybe even 13 million devil coins. Yang Dingtian said in shock, why? Is this mystic skill scroll very powerful? You don't know? Qin Huayu said, this mystic skill scroll is a public case in the chaotic mainland. The extermination of the Icebound Valley was because of this Grade 9 Medium Mystic Skill Scroll. Countless forces fought for this scroll and at least thousands of people died. Just the Grandmaster level powerhouses alone died. Later, this Mystic Skill Scroll disappeared completely. No one knew where it was. I didn't expect that it would appear in the big auction of the Merchant Palace in the Demon City today. Yang Dingtian suddenly realized. He knew about this past. Master Dongfang Minmi had once told him about it. Moreover, in order to deceive Qin Mingli, he fabricated that he was the only survivor of the Icebound Valley, were in Tianhan. But didn't I hear that the Icebound Valley found a Grade 9 Ice Mystic Skill Scroll? Yang Dingtian said. No, this Grade 9 Mystic Skill Scroll is non-elemental. It doesn't differentiate between ice and fire, yin and yang. Anyone can learn it. It is the rarest absolute rank secret scroll in the world. Qin Huayu said, the Devil City's merchant hall is too good at keeping secrets. Otherwise, once the news gets out, I'm afraid the number of people attending today's auction would increase by several times. Countless sect masters would flock here. At least, my father would not miss it. Is it very powerful? Yang Dingtian asked. You should have seen Shimanju's heaven and earth extinction record. Qin Huayu said. Yang Dingtian nodded. Then what do you think are the flaws of the heaven and earth extinction record? Qin Huayu asked. It is very heaven-defying. The flaw is that it takes too long and is too sensitive. It can be easily destroyed. Yang Dingtian said. Legend has it that there is only one move in the heaven and earth devil art. However, it can reverse the moment the opponent uses a mystic skill. It can directly cause the mystic skill to explode in the opponent's body. Qin Huayu said. Instantly, Yang Dingtian was stunned speechless. Then this was really a bug. There was really no solution. Then, as long as anyone obtained this grade 9 mystic skill scroll, they could instantly kill any opponent of the same level, as long as the opponent used a mystic skill. Such a heaven-defying mystic skill shouldn't appear in this world. Yang Dingtian said with a hoarse voice, I don't even know if there is a mystic skill that is even more heaven-defying than this. It should be the Southern Seas Ning clan's superior grade 9 mystic skill scroll. This might be the only known superior grade 9 mystic skill scroll in the world. Qin Huayu said. When the Southern Seas Ning clan used this superior grade 9 mystic skill scroll to exchange for the Yin-Yang reincarnation crystal, why didn't your father agree? Yang Dingtian asked. My father was extremely tempted. He didn't choose this superior grade 9 mystic skill scroll not because he felt that impersonating the hidden sect's successor, Wu Ming, was more valuable than this superior grade 9 mystic skill scroll. But, once he accepted it, he would be completely leaning towards evil ways. So, that superior grade 9 mystic skill scroll was just a bargaining chip to bribe Qin Cheng. Qin Huayu said. So that's how it is. Qin Huayu couldn't help but sigh and say, not to mention others, even the three of us are drooling over this grade 9 mystic skill scroll. This kind of heaven-defying mystic skill is even enough to change the world. It won't fall into our hands. Song Chunhua said, this mystic skill scroll is destined to be a fight between great grandmasters and those close to great grandmasters. I've already heard a few familiar voices. There are people from the Cloud Sky Pavilion, Earth-Splitting City, and other sects close to great grandmasters, 11 million. 11,500,000, 12 million. 12,500,000. Finally, there were only 2 people left in the competition for the 9th grade Devil Art Cosmos Kun, 13 million devil coins. An unfamiliar voice abruptly shouted. Instantly, the entire place fell silent. He is Earth-Splitting City's City Lord, Kuei Si. Song Chunhua whispered into Yang Dingtian's ear, 13,500,000 devil coins. A special female voice rang out. It was filled with the vicissitudes of life. She is the Cloud Sky Pavilion City Lord, Master Kai Lin. Yang Dingtian said in surprise, aren't the Cloud Sky Pavilion and Earth-Splitting City allies? They are allies. However, they can't help but fall out with this heaven-defying mystic skill. Song Chunhua said, fortunately, my father and City Lord Qin Wanchou are not here. Otherwise, the price would have skyrocketed. Earth-Splitting City's City Lord Kuei Si couldn't help but say, Junior Sister Kai Lin, don't you care about our decades of friendship? Master Kai Lin fell silent. Then, she said, 15 million devil coins. This is the last bid. Yang Dingtian could almost hear Earth-Splitting City's City Lord Kuei Si gnashing his teeth. Then, he said slowly, many thanks for Junior Sister's help. 15,100,000 devil coins. It seemed like Earth-Splitting City's City Lord had reached his limit. That was why he only added 100,000 devil coins. Then, Earth-Splitting City's City Lord let out a long sigh of relief. Finally, he got his hands on this heaven-defying level 9 mystic skill. Yang Dingtian could even feel Earth-Splitting City's City Lord leaning on his back, exhausted, 16 million devil coins. Suddenly, a cold and enchanting voice rang out. Instantly, the entire place shook. It was as if a gust of wind had swept past. Yang Dingtian could clearly feel a powerful force exploding out from Earth-Splitting City's City Lord's private room. Who is it that wants to go against my Earth-Splitting City? Earth-Splitting City's City Lord Kuei Si said through gritted teeth. Southern Sea's Ning Clan's Wu Maji. The woman said indifferently. Yang Dingtian's heart skipped a beat. It's her. It's really her. Yang Dingtian felt that this voice was very familiar. She actually offered such an astronomical price. Logically speaking, the Southern Sea's Ning clan should not be lacking in top-grade mystic skill manuals. Not only did she have a level 9 upper-grade mystic skill manual, but she had also taken out a level 9 lower-grade mystic skill manual to exchange for Yang Dingtian's treasured sword at a small-scale auction. After Wu Maji said her name, the entire place was filled with astonished discussions. This was because most of the people were unfamiliar with this name, 16,500,000 devil coins. Earth-Splitting City's City Lord Kuei Si said through gritted teeth. Earth-Splitting City's City Lord had really given everything he had, 17 million devil coins. Wu Maji said indifferently. Then, the entire place fell silent. Yang Dingtian could clearly feel that the Earth-Splitting City's City Lord's private room was filled with a terrifying aura, as if it could explode at any moment. Senior Kuei, the top-grade mystic skill belongs to the virtuous. Don't be impatient. Master Kai Lin said indifferently. Her words caused City Lord Kuei Si to quieten down. Hee, young lady, you can have this secret manual. City Lord Kuei Si laughed coldly. The auctioneer did not say anything and continued to wait. After waiting for a few minutes, he said, the first item is a level 9 middle-grade mystic skill, Heaven and Earth Devil Art. The bidding price is 17 million devil coins and it belongs to VIP number 35. Instantly, a wave of drooling voices could be heard. An almost heaven-defying mystic skill manual officially belonged to the mysterious Southern Sea's Ning clan's Wu Maji. Not to mention the others, even Yang Dingtian was drooling over it. Whoever cultivated this secret manual would have the ability to kill opponents of the same level in seconds. Next, the second item will be auctioned. The auctioneer said, this is a treasured sword made from 10,000 years old bloody black gold. Yang Dingtian and the other two were shocked. This was because the treasured sword was provided by Yang Dingtian. If it could be auctioned for a good price, then Yang Dingtian would have a higher chance of obtaining the demon spirit heart. At this moment, a martial artist displayed the treasured sword to everyone. He pulled out the sword and it emitted a light as bright as the sun. Then, the martial artist used the treasured sword to slash at the mystic fire devil hammer. The extremely sturdy mystic fire devil hammer was instantly cut in half. Then, the martial artist injected a surge of profound chi. A ball of raging flames shot up to the sky. This treasured sword is named Raging Flames. Profound chi enhancement, 75%. The auctioneer had just finished his introduction and there was an uproar in the hall. Over the years, the auction of weapons was the most deserted. Because there had never been a weapon that could make people's eyes light up. But this year's sword was truly breathtaking to the extreme. Not only was the appearance stunning, the sharpness was also shocking. The profound chi enhancement was even more unimaginable. The second item, Raging Flames Sword, begins the auction. He could clearly hear the sounds of many people sucking in cold air, many people exclaiming, and many people's shocked voices. The effect of Yang Dingtian's treasured sword was sensational. Yang Dingtian was suddenly filled with anticipation because everyone's reaction was very fanatical. The effect of this treasured sword was completely shocking. Sure enough, the first person immediately made a bid, 300,000 devil coins. 350,000, 400,000. What was going on? What was the meaning of this? Suddenly, Yang Dingtian was stunned. What was going on? Wasn't everyone's reaction very intense and fanatical? Why was the price so low? Just now, for the 9th grade profound skill manual, everyone bid more than 10 million. Why was it so shabby when it was my turn? 410,000. 420,000, 430,000. Well, it was fine if Yang Dingtian didn't complain. Previously, everyone was increasing the bid by 50,000. Now, it was increasing the bid by 10,000. Yang Dingtian couldn't help but look at Song Chunhua speechlessly. Song Chunhua said, "I've said before that there are very few people who are obsessed with weapons, unless it's a soul sword. However, soul swords are all forged by oneself. My sword is so powerful, why is it only a few 100,000? Yang Dingtian was puzzled. Many people only buy it as a backup sword or as a second sword. Song Chunhua said, because it can't be used with a martial soul. Secondly, it only has sharpness and Xian Qi, it can't trigger powerful Xian skills. The most powerful and mysterious thing about an ancient divine weapon is that it can trigger Xian skills. When one reaches a certain level, the Xian Qi's effect is not that strong. After all, after breaking through to the next level, one's Xian Qi will multiply. So that's why. Only those who are fanatical about treasured swords will spend a huge price to buy it. Song Chunhua said, for example, people like me, 500,000. Finally, an unfamiliar man's voice called out a bid of 500,000. Ironically, this price was exactly the same as the price at the merchant hall in Demon City. Why bother? However, didn't Wu Maji of the Southern Sea's Ning clan love this kind of divine weapon? Why didn't he bid? Could it be that he spent all the money on the 9th grade profound skill manual, 550,000 devil coins? Finally, Wu Maji bid. The moment she bid, the unfamiliar man gave up. Suddenly, Yang Dingtian's treasured sword fell into a state where no one would bid for it. Yang Dingtian had no choice but to accept reality. His treasured sword was sold for 550,000 devil coins. Thinking about it from another perspective, this price was not bad. After all, it was equivalent to billions of gold coins. It was equivalent to Cloud Sky City's tax revenue for a long time, 1 million devil coins. At this moment, a voice rang out, causing Yang Dingtian to be overjoyed. It was the city lord of Earthfisher City, Kuei. He was here to take revenge and maliciously raise the price, 1,500,000. 2,500,000. Suddenly, Yang Dingtian went from hell to heaven. Chapter 395. 5 million devil coins. Earthfisher City Lord Kuei repeated, his tone full of provocation. It seemed that this expert who was close to becoming a martial grandmaster had a fiery temper. Otherwise, as one of the overlords of the world, he would not be angry with a junior. However, Yang Dingtian felt that this Kuei was very cute. It would be best if he continued to raise the price until it reached the sky. Since City Lord Kuei loves this treasure sword so much, I will give it up. Wu Maji of the Southern Sea Ning clan said lightly. Fuck, it was rare that Yang Dingtian and City Lord Kuei said the same thing. However, Yang Dingtian said it in his heart while City Lord Kuei said it out loud. Damn it, he did not see how this Wu Maji looked, but she was definitely cheating people. Previously, she seemed to be determined to obtain Yang Dingtian's artifact sword and was willing to pay any price to obtain it. But now, she had given it up so easily and had dug a pit for the Earthfisher City Lord, Kuei. Yet, City Lord Kuei's bid was 5 million gold coins. He really became 250 gold coins. No wonder City Lord Kuei could not help but curse. Now, Yang Dingtian could not see through Wu Maji at all. He did not know what kind of role she was playing. Of course, although City Lord Kuei was flustered and exasperated, he was still an overlord. Although he failed to raise the price, he still paid for it. Even though this artifact sword that Yang Dingtian had forged wasn't of much use to him. Meanwhile, Yang Dingtian had obtained 2.5 million devil coins, which was considered a small windfall. Adding the original money, he had a total of about 6 million devil coins, which was about half the price of the demon spirit heart. The rest would depend on the lightning talisman. The following treasures were still able to surprise Yang Dingtian. All of them were priceless treasures. Even the lowest auction price was about 2 million devil coins. However, it was already very difficult for Yang Dingtian to pay attention to it. Just like that, the auction proceeded in an orderly manner, and time passed by minute by minute. Next, the 14th item will be auctioned, the 4th stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. Yang Dingtian was shocked. The 4th stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship was really up for auction? How could this be? So, as long as I pay 500,000 devil coins, I can go to the auction. Even trash can go? Yang Dingtian asked. No, Song Chunhua said. Perhaps no one will want to sell anything that has been put up for auction, but it must be real. It must be a rare item. Yang Dingtian's breathing stagnated. Did that mean that the 4th stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship provided by the middle-aged man was real? How was this possible? Where did he get the pig-slaying swordsmanship? But there was one thing that was absolutely certain. The middle-aged man had racked his brains to send the pig-slaying swordsmanship to Yang Dingtian. There must be a motive. As for whether there was a sinister motive, it was still unknown, but there was an 80% chance that it was sinister. However, Yang Dingtian suspected that there was no way to verify the authenticity of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. What method did the Shang Palace in Demon City have to verify it? In this world, the only person who could verify the authenticity of the pig-slaying swordsmanship should be Yang Dingtian. The 4th stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship will be auctioned now. The bidding will begin now. Suddenly, there was silence in the hall. Obviously, everyone knew that the pig-slaying swordsmanship was of no use to them. Of course, if Yang Dingtian was a great figure, they might have auctioned it off and given it to Yang Dingtian as a favor in the future. However, as of now, Cloud Sky City Governor Yang Dingtian was a small figure in their eyes. There was no need for them to curry favor with him. If no one else bids, we will announce that the 4th rank of the pig-slaying swordsmanship is not up for auction, the middle-aged auctioneer said. Song Chunhua's eyes lit up and he said, Governor Yang, you need this secret manual very much. If we bid for it, the price should be very low. Yang Dingtian shook his head and said, Don't complicate things. Our only goal is the demon spirit heart. The 4th rank of the pig-slaying swordsmanship is mine. It's mine. 50,000 devil coins. However, Song Chunhua did not listen to Yang Dingtian and made the decision to bid. After bidding, Song Chunhua said to Yang Dingtian, If we miss this opportunity, we might miss it forever. I can't sit back and watch. Yang Dingtian took a deep breath. Since he could not stop Song Chunhua, he could only act according to the situation. 500,000 devil coins, Earth-splitting city governor Kuei Si shouted. Bastard! Just a moment ago, Yang Dingtian thought that the Earth-splitting city governor was cute. Now, Yang Dingtian felt that he was incomparably hateful. Since Song Chunhua had already bid, there was no turning back. It was the same as exposing himself. In that case, Yang Dingtian was determined to get the 4th rank of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. Who would have thought that Kuei Si would raise the price by 10 times? Bastard, the Southern Seas Ning tribe's Wu Maji offended you, but I didn't provoke you. Why are you looking for trouble with me? 550,000. Song Chunhua gritted his teeth. 1 million. Kuei Si said lazily. In that instant, Yang Dingtian and Song Chunhua's teeth itched with hatred. Don't bid anymore. Otherwise, you won't have any hope of getting the demon spirit heart. Yang Dingtian said. I'll bid one last time. Song Chunhua said, 1,050,000. 1,500,000. Kuei Si raised the price resolutely. It was as if he wasn't here to argue, but to buy the fourth rank of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. Soon, Yang Dingtian figured out Kuei Si's motive for bidding for the fourth rank of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. He wanted to trade with Yang Dingtian because Yang Dingtian had something he wanted, the yin-yang reincarnation crystal. In the northwest Qin city, Kuei Si had paid an astronomical price but failed to obtain the yin-yang reincarnation crystal. If he could get it for 1,500,000, Kuei Si would probably go crazy with joy. Raise it to 2 million. Yang Dingtian said. What? Song Chunhua said in shock, if you raise it to 2 million, we won't have any hope of getting the demon spirit heart. I don't want to buy it. I'm just testing Kuei Si's motive. Yang Dingtian said. Moreover, he realized that he hadn't been exposed. It was normal for Song Chunhua to bid for the fourth rank of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. Because the World Society also wanted the yin-yang reincarnation crystal, it was normal for them to bid for the pig-slaying swordsmanship and trade with Yang Dingtian. 2 million, Song Chunhua said. 2,500,000. As expected, Kuei Si didn't hesitate and raised the price to 2,500,000. Then, he shouted again, 3 million. As expected, he was determined to get the fourth rank of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. Miss Song, we want the pig-slaying swordsmanship. So, the World Society doesn't have to be so stubborn. We don't want to hurt each other. Kuei Si said. Song Chunhua and Yang Dingtian looked at each other. It seemed that the fourth rank of the pig-slaying swordsmanship could not be bought. Kuei Si was probably willing to pay a price of tens of millions of devil coins for it. After Song Chunhua fell silent, Kuei Si smiled and said, "Thank you, Miss Song." Just when Kuei Si thought that 3 million was enough to get the fourth rank of the pig-slaying swordsmanship, a sudden and familiar voice sounded again. 4 million. It was Wu Maji of the Southern Seas Ning clan. She raised the price by 1 million in one go. Kuei Si was instantly enraged. Does the Southern Seas Ning clan want to go against my earth-splitting city? Kuei Si said angrily. Wu Maji smiled faintly and said, City Lord Kuei Si, you must be joking. I can only say that we are fated to have the same thing. Isn't that so? It would have been better if she did not speak. Once she spoke, although there was no trace of anger, it was really infuriating. 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, 8 million. City Lord Kuei Si raised the price continuously. His fiery temper had completely flared up. 15 million. Wu Maji of the Southern Seas Ning clan raised the price once. However, just one bid was enough to shock everyone. 15 million devil coins. When did Yang Dingtian become so valuable? 15 million devil coins. Even if Cloud Sky City and all the territories were sold, it would not be worth that much. Everyone knew that Kuei Si and Wu Maji had no use for the pig-slaying swordsmanship. They only had one goal, and that was to trade with Yang Dingtian. Even Kuei Si was shocked. The Southern Seas Ning clan had already spent 17 million devil coins in the first round of the auction. Now, they raised the price to 15 million. That was devil coins, the most valuable currency in the world. Yang Dingtian could not help but ask, Chunhua, how many devil coins do you have? Song Chunhua said, about 35 million. How about your northwest Qin city? Yang Dingtian asked. More than 50 million, Qin Huayu said. Northwest Qin city was already the richest faction in the world, but it only had about 50 million devil coins. If the Southern Seas Ning clan spent more than 30 million on 2 items, how many devil coins did she have? The price of 15 million devil coins had clearly exceeded Kuei Si's bottom line. Of course, if it was an auction for the yin-yang samsara crystal, even if it was 30, 50, or even 80 million, Kuei Si and Master Kai Lin of the Cloud Sky Pavilion would buy it with everything they had. However, this was only the 4th stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. It was just an item to trade with Yang Dingtian. It might not be able to exchange for the yin-yang samsara crystal. However, he was unwilling to give up just like that and lose to a little girl from the Southern Seas Ning clan. 16 million. City Lord Kuei-si roared. 18 million. Wu Maji continued to bid calmly, giving off the feeling that she could raise the price countless times at any time. This attitude was truly despairing. Without a doubt, her attitude had frightened everyone. As expected, no one continued to bid. Even Kuei-si was about to give up. 25 million. Suddenly, a bid was like a huge rock being thrown into a pond, setting off a huge wave. It was as if a huge storm had set off in the auction room. Everyone was shocked, including the auctioneer who had been as calm as water. 25 million. The fourth stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship was only useful to Yang Dingtian, yet the bid was 25 million. After a while, many people began to search for the bidder. It was actually Master Kai Lin of the Cloud Sky Pavilion. Just a moment ago, she had advised City Lord Kuei-si not to be impatient. Now, she seemed to have lost her mind and shouted a sky-high price. Kai Lin. Are you crazy? Kuei-si could not help but ask. Little girl, where it's possible to make mistakes, one should be lenient. Although I hate Kuei-si, his skin is not something you can peel off as you wish, Master Kai Lin said coldly. Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu immediately exchanged glances and came to a conclusion. These two were having an affair. Of course, it was very possible that the two of them were pure, but deep in their hearts, they were definitely having an affair. Moreover, they were more like quarrelsome lovers. They were constantly at odds with each other, but they had engraved each other in their hearts. It was no wonder that the earth-shattering city and the Cloud Sky Pavilion had become allies after fighting for 100 or 200 years. That's right. Kuei-si, cannot be suppressed by others. Sister Kai Lin, I'll pay half of this price, Kuei-si immediately shouted. Nonsense. Do you want me to pay all of it while you pay 60%? Master Kai Lin said. Also, watch your mouth. Don't spout nonsense. City Lord Kuei-si was instantly speechless. Everyone in the auction room burst into laughter. Yang Dingtian also burst into laughter. City Lord Yang, City Lord Kuei-si and Master Kai Lin may have strange personalities, but they have fiery temperaments. I feel that perhaps we can pull them into our battle group. That way, we won't be alone. Song Chunhua said. Yang Dingtian instinctively nodded. These two were indeed temperamental people. Perhaps they could look forward to this kind of character. In the battle against evil ways, perhaps they could fight for it. 28 million. Wu Maji said indifferently. 32 million. Master Kai Lin called out the price without hesitation. 35 million. Wu Maji said. 38 million. Master Kai Lin said. Junior sister. I'm almost out of money. City Lord Kuei-si could not help but whisper. Instantly, everyone burst into laughter. You idiot. Master Kai Lin scolded. That woman was already prepared to give up. 40 million. Wu Maji's morale was indeed high. 49 million. Master Kai Lin did not hesitate and raised the price to an astronomical figure. The entire auction house was silent. Yang Dingtian's heart was pounding. This price, honestly speaking, was enough to buy a yin-yang reincarnation crystal. Yang Dingtian felt a headache coming on. The Cloud Sky Pavilion and Earth-splitting city had spent such an astronomical price to obtain the fourth stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. If Yang Dingtian wanted to obtain the fourth stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship from them, it would be too difficult unless he took out the yin-yang reincarnation crystal. I give up. Wu Maji said solemnly. This was the first time she had admitted defeat in a large auction. Then, the middle-aged auctioneer announced that the fourth stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship had been sold. Everyone was incomparably surprised. An unknown fourth stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship had actually been sold for a sky-high price of 49 million. This was the highest price in a large auction in the past 10 years. Even in the 1,000 years of history, it could be ranked in the top 10. Reality was indeed too surprising and horrifying. However, when Earth-splitting city Lord Kuei-si went to take the fourth stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship, there was no joy on his face. His entire face seemed to be covered in a layer of frost. This was because he had to pay 60% of the price. If he could not exchange it for the yin-yang reincarnation crystal, the fourth stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship would be a fucking waste of paper. With a frosty expression, Yang Dingtian smiled bitterly. The Cloud Sky Pavilion and Earth-splitting city had spent 49 million devil coins to purchase the fourth stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship. What the fuck was he going to use to obtain the fourth stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship from them? He could not possibly hand over the yin-yang reincarnation crystal. The bidding for the fourth stage of the pig-slaying swordsmanship seemed to have overdrawn everyone's enthusiasm. The next 10 or so items were auctioned off. Although each item was priceless and extremely rare, they were all extremely rare. However, no one had the passion to bid for them. Wu Maji of the Southern Seas Ning clan did not bid again. The Cloud Sky Pavilion and Earth-splitting city did not bid even once. Of course, even if they wanted to bid, they probably did not have the money. These three families should be the three biggest tycoons of the day. If these three families did not bid, there would not be any waves in the auction. Therefore, in the next 10 or so items, the highest price was only 5 million devil coins. The lowest price was 300,000 devil coins. As a result, the person who bid 300,000 devil coins was surprised and delighted. When he went to get the auction item, his face was still full of disbelief. Seeing this situation, Yang Dingtian suddenly felt uneasy. Since everyone was so emotionless, he hoped that the Thunder Talisman, which he had the greatest hope for, would not be lost. Next, the auction of the finale items, a total of 3 items. Now, the auction of the first finale item, the Thunder Talisman. Suddenly, Yang Dingtian and others were shocked. Whether they could get a large sum of money and bid for the demon spirit heart completely depended on how much the Thunder Talisman could be sold for. Then, a woman raised the Thunder Talisman high. Mysterious runes were engraved on the beautiful thin crystal. Inside the crystal, beautiful flashes of lightning were flashing. The Thunder Talisman could almost be said to be the rarest treasure in the world. Of course, it was the most illusory but not necessarily practical. To an individual force, this thing was practically useless. Its only use was to show off. It was even better to use it to pick up girls. It could be the most expensive luxury in the world. Of course, it could also be used for other purposes. For example, pretending to be the successor of the hidden sect. Unfortunately, this Thunder Talisman was publicly auctioned, so even if someone bought it, it was probably not easy to pretend to be the successor of the hidden sect. After all, the major forces in the world knew that someone had bought the Thunder Talisman. If someone released the Thunder Talisman, they would probably be suspected directly. Therefore, the transaction between Yang Dingtian and the Northwest Qin city was completely sneaky. This kind of public auction was really difficult. Sure enough, this Thunder Talisman attracted a burst of exclamations and envious eyes, but no one made a bid. This feeling was like a group of Japanese girls running into a luxury store and seeing a limited edition Prada bag. They immediately shouted and screamed, as if they would sell their blood and bodies to buy it. As a result, after exclaiming for a while and touching enough, they directly turned and left without even asking the price. Suddenly, Yang Dingtian and Song Chunhua looked at each other and wanted to cry but had no tears. They faintly felt that they were going to suffer a tragedy. "We'll pay 1 million. Yang Dingtian said. "Ah!" Song Chunhua was surprised. "Let's test it." Yang Dingtian said. "If no one raises the price?" Song Chunhua said. "Then we'll buy it ourselves and give it to Qinhuayu." Yang Dingtian said, "If no one raises the price, we won't be able to afford the demon spirit heart even if we don't have 1 million devil coins." Song Chunhua heard this and immediately shouted, 1 million devil coins. Then, there was silence in the hall. Yang Dingtian's face fell. It seemed that he really had to kneel down. The auctioneer raised the hammer slightly and said, "Thunder Talisman, 1 million devil coins, who wants to raise the price?" It was still silent. Yang Dingtian wailed in his heart, "No. 1,050,000. Finally, someone raised the price, and Yang Dingtian breathed a long sigh of relief. Moreover, the voice that raised the price was still very familiar. It turned out to be the mysterious woman with a delicate face and a devilish hot body. She used an unknown mystic flame map in exchange for Yang Dingtian's peerless sword. Of course, she might also feel that she was cheated because another such sword appeared in today's auction. After the mysterious woman finished bidding, there was silence in the hall. "Raise the price to 1,500,000. Yang Dingtian said. 1,500,000. Song Chunhua said. 1,500,000. The mysterious woman said. 2 million. Under Yang Dingtian's command, Song Chunhua raised the price again. This time, the girl was suddenly full of hesitation. After a long time, she raised the price again, 2,010,000. Song Chunhua looked at Yang Dingtian, "Do you still want to raise the price? She seems to have bought it just for fun and doesn't seem to have any money left." Yang Dingtian also fell into a dilemma. This 2,010,000, plus the 2,500,000 from selling the sword, plus the original 3,500,000, was exactly 8 million, which was about the same price as the last auction of the demon spirit heart. It was tantamount to giving Yang Dingtian a little hope. However, today's big auction was particularly monstrous. It actually sold at a sky-high price of tens of millions. Therefore, it was really difficult to buy the demon spirit heart with 8 million. Raise the price to 3 million. Yang Dingtian said, "At worst, we can buy this thunder attribute mystic talisman ourselves. Today, it's completely impossible to buy the demon spirit heart with 8 million. Yang Dingtian said. 3 million devil coins. Song Chunhua said. Sure enough, the mysterious woman did not raise the price. She just sighed softly, as if she was a little regretful. However, this kind of regret was really just a kind of regret for a beloved object, not a regret for something that must be obtained. She really intended to buy the thunder attribute mystic talisman back as an accessory. Then, the hall was silent again, and no one raised the price. Yang Dingtian was going to have a tragic ending again. He spent 500,000 devil coins to get the thunder attribute mystic talisman up for auction, and then he spent 3 million devil coins to buy it back. Of course, the money still reached his hands, but he had to deduct 10% of the profit. In other words, Yang Dingtian didn't earn a penny from this thunder attribute mystic talisman, but also lost 800,000. This auction of the merchant palace of the magic city was really too high-end, and the people here were too pragmatic. They didn't buy flashy things at all. Just when Yang Dingtian was about to despair. 4 million. Suddenly, someone made a bid. Suddenly, Yang Dingtian burst into tears and rose from hell to heaven again. Moreover, the bidder was a super-rich woman, the young madam of the Ning clan of the South Sea, Wu Maji, who was destined to have something to do with Yang Dingtian in the future. For some reason, this woman finally made a bid, and directly increased it to 4 million. Yang Dingtian really wanted to rush up and kiss her fiercely. Then, Yang Dingtian couldn't help but surrender his spirit to City Lord Kuei-Si's box. City Lord Kuei-Si's temperament, it's time for you to show off, quickly come out and raise the price. Yang Dingtian waited expectantly for Kuei-Si's unique voice to appear. But, he was disappointed. Kuei-Si's voice didn't sound. Yang Dingtian couldn't help but complain in his heart, people fight for a breath, Buddha fights for an incense, you City Lord Kuei-Si are too cowardly, such a good opportunity to take revenge. However, reality didn't change with Yang Dingtian's will. Kuei-Si didn't speak, Master Kai Lin didn't speak, and the others didn't speak either. Time passed by minute by minute. The middle-aged auctioneer had slowly raised his hammer. If others don't raise the price, we will raise it ourselves. Yang Dingtian bid 6 million devil coins. Ah! Song Chunhua was shocked, looking at Yang Dingtian. 6 million devil coins is all we have. If the other party doesn't accept, then. Yes, and if it was sold for 4 million devil coins, Yang Dingtian would have about 10 million devil coins. He could compete for the demon spirit heart. Bid 6 million. Yang Dingtian said decisively. 6 million devil coins. Song Chunhua looked at Yang Dingtian with resentment. Yang Dingtian and Qin Huayu were stunned, because this was Song Chunhua's most feminine moment. Song Chunhua's bid obviously stunned Wu Maji. She didn't react for a long time. Yang Dingtian's heart was beating wildly. Qin Huayu simply closed his eyes and prayed secretly, begging Wu Maji to bid again. Please don't let this lightning talisman go to waste. 6,500,000. Wu Maji bid, but her voice was full of hesitation. Yang Dingtian was about to speak, but Qin Huayu immediately stepped forward and said in horror, "Don't raise the price, quit while you're ahead, quit while you're ahead." Song Chunhua also said, "Don't raise the price, we don't have that much money." Yang Dingtian said resolutely, "No, we have to raise the price. Wu Maji is playing a psychological game with us. I don't know the reason, but she is determined to get this thunder attribute mystic talisman. But, we only have 6 million devil coins." Song Chunhua said. "Yes, but the lightning talisman is our own, we only need to pay 10% of the transaction fee, we have 6 million devil coins, we can bid 60 million. Yang Dingtian said. Qin Huayu's eyes turned white and said, You're crazy. Chunhua, listen to me, bid 10 million. Yang Dingtian said decisively. Song Chunhua's face turned pale, then she suddenly gritted her teeth and said, "Let's do it." 10 million. Song Chunhua said. Song Chunhua's bid immediately caused a huge commotion in the auction house. 10 million, this extremely rare and extremely flashy lightning talisman, someone actually bid 10 million. After bidding, Song Chunhua's fists were clenched together, and she was even a little breathless. Now, they were waiting for Wu Maji, would she bid or not? 20 million. Wu Maji did not hesitate and directly said. Suddenly, the auctioneer was shocked again. Song Chunhua's face was filled with ecstasy, and she suddenly hugged Yang Dingtian. 20 million, Wu Maji actually bid 20 million. Qin Huayu's eyes also burst out with an incredible brilliance. 20 million, we got the demon spirit heart. Song Chunhua whispered excitedly. Although she was the one hugging Yang Dingtian, her expression was more natural than Yang Dingtian's. Raise the price, 40 million. Yang Dingtian said. Suddenly, a cold wind blew in the box. Are you crazy? Song Chunhua and Qin Huayu said in unison. City Lord Yang, you are so opportunistic and gambling, I will be very disappointed. Song Chunhua said coldly, be careful not to be blinded by greed. Yang Dingtian, 24 million is already enough for us to bid for the demon spirit heart. Qin Huayu said, although this thing is extremely precious, it is basically auctioned every time, so the price is still very stable. 20 million is already a certainty. No, I am just confirming a possibility. Yang Dingtian said lightly, this possibility may be very important. Must we bid? Song Chunhua said, if we fail, we will completely lose the capital to buy the demon spirit heart. Of course, and the other party will definitely raise the price. Yang Dingtian said. Okay. Song Chunhua said, and then shouted, 50 million. Sure enough, reality did not make Song Chunhua and Yang Dingtian nervous for long. 55 million. Wu Maji directly bid. At this time, there was already a dead silence in the hall. It was too abnormal for a lightning-attributed mystic talisman to soar to such a high price. 60 million. Yang Dingtian said. 60 million. This time, Song Chunhua did not argue and directly bid 60 million. 60 million was already the limit that Yang Dingtian's side could bid. If the other party did not accept, then Yang Dingtian would be completely penniless. These 6 million devil coins would all be used as the transaction fee to the Demon City's merchant palace. If the other party accepted, then Yang Dingtian would have an astronomical number of devil coins. Of course, for that matter, it was also completely confirmed. You're tuning into the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.